Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Horizon Community Cup number 3. I am your caster, Hodohori, and today we've got a great lineup of matches for you in the Horizon Community Cup. It is the opening group stages of this 2-day tournament. Tomorrow will be the single elimination, but today it is the group stages. And joining me today is my co-commentator and color commentator extraordinaire, Pulse. How you doing, Pulse?
I'm doing good. How you doing yourself, Hodo?
I am fantastic, and we've got a great lineup of matches for you
hmm
today. The teams featured in this tournament are a who's who of Tier 3. We're missing a couple of stars, but just to mention some teams: Path to Poverty, Oracle Gaming Gold, NA Scrims, Clarity, and our featured match today, it's going to be Chicken Contendies versus Bounce Back. So this is going to be a very exciting opening match here to the Horizon Community Cup.
Yeah, exactly. And here, let's talk about these teams we have coming out here. And on the blue side, we're going to get Chicken Contendies coming out the gate. And of course, it's going to be held down by the anchor, the all famous Hard Blue. I was going to be on that team, Chicken Contendies. That's just super impressive to kind of see him come out and show Horizon Community Cup what he could do. We also have Gig, Salty, Tanner, Suppose, and Zolik.
Yeah, Chicken Contendies here coming off of a pretty decent win streak too. They did win
hmm
the Warp Meta Championships just a couple of weeks ago. I casted that and casted them in the finals. So they're on a bit of a roll here, looking for another title here under their belts before they go into open division, trying to sort of roll. As their opponents, it will be Bounce Back. And Bounce Back, a newly formed team, they just got together a couple weeks back, are a 4400 SR team. So they're going to put up a great fight here against Chicken Contendies. So we're going to see a really great match. So with their lineup, it is Cheddar and Borg on their tank side. Zeus and Lols the Troll will be the DPS, and the support line will be 6 feet under. And a person you might know, Jar Jar Dinks. Yes, the Zenyatta head clicker himself. He is on bounce back, and he will be the one that you will be on the out for, as he will do a lot of the finishing from the back line. So they've got a mainly Goats lineup here as they're getting ready to go. So it is going to be a hot first match here between Bounce Back here and Chicken Contendies.
Exactly. And look, let's talk about the first map they're going to be hopping into, and that's definitely going to be Nepal, the king of the hill map. And look, there's a lot of strategies we see running out here, and I know Goat's composition is the big one, but Nepal, it's a very versatile map. Every time we change between the three maps that Nepal has to offer, different compositions could be run. So I'm interested to see if we'll see these teams flex a little bit, or if we're going to see that Goats every single time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because it's not necessarily a map that you can run goats on every single one. You can, but it's not necessarily
Mhm.
advantageous to you. And with Chicken Contendies, who is a goats specialty team, you might see them flex now here and there to a couple different ones. You might see Harblue on his favorite Roadhog here on on the Sanctum, and then maybe they'll switch up to goats on some of the other ones. But it will be interesting to see, as it looks like both teams are almost ready. They are 1 minute to go. I'm actually interested more in bounce back here.
Mhm.
They are playing a team that does have a very star-studded lineup, but they only got together a couple weeks back. So I'm wondering if teamwork is going to be a big issue for them, or have they been sort of grinding it out for the last couple weeks, making sure getting ready for this tournament, because there is money on the line here. There is a top prize, I think, of $600 going to the winner. So there will be prize money here for both teams involved. So bounce back here with a lot to play for, and they want to come out here sort of guns blazing against Chicken Contendies.
Yeah, exactly. And anybody who's ever been a part of a team or is, coached for a team or has even formed a team, they could tell you that, synergy is a huge key. It is kind of a balance because essentially, when you get more higher up the ranks in Overwatch and you kind of play for more teams, you get more team experience. You are moldable a bit more, the kind of growing pains aren't as long if this is your third or your fourth team being a part of, because you just know how to mold with people super easily. So I'm interested to see, I agree with you, if Bounce Back could kind of come out of the gate with that synergy already, or if that's going to be a growing pain for them with like a lot of teams experience. And Chicken Contendies, that's going to be, that's a good match to kind of test your team to see if they're ready to take on the big guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And like Chicken Contendies here have higher aspirations than just open division and division trials. They want to get to contenders for next season. So they're going to be
Ooh.
trying to push very, very hard here to sort of get through and sort of get to where they think they belong, because they do believe they are one of the premier teams here in tier 3. So they want to sort of get through, win this tournament, add another title to their belt, and sort of just go from there, as we are going to be entering Nepal right now. And it looks like both teams are ready to go, and it is going to be our first match here in the Horizon Community Cup. Bounce Back and Chicken Contendies. Chicken Contendies here in blue, and it will be Bounce Back in red for those watching at home as they assemble their heroes. 30 seconds here. What do you think you'll be able to see here on Village Pulse?
I wouldn't be surprised if we just see, a mirror goats, or if we see, goats with a tiny variation, one or two heroes not being, on the normal goats composition role, especially here. Look, the point is inside a little shack, kind of a little house. So you have to, contest that point. And what kind of composition has that front line damage where you just seem like a wall getting run into? Then goats. I mean, that's the perfect composition, I think, to just kind of take control of this point early.
Yeah, and you do sort of see it come out here, as it looks like they're going Zen Anna goats here on the side of Chicken Contendies. On the other side here, they're sort of trying to mess with the commentators as they're sort of flipping back and forth. But I do see Zeus and 6 Feet Under maybe going to the pharmacy here, trying to see if so they're trying to probably be attacked from the air here. 7 seconds left to go. Final thoughts here on the comps here from Bounce Back.
I mean, I like the Pharah going into the air, just because, that's a great way to kind of take on that goat's composition. Look, we see a double explosion, double spam damage DPS line coming out from Bounce Back, so they're just going to try to break the shields of that goat's composition and maybe try to get some early picks.
Yeah, so it looks like your Bounce Back just sort of stalled in the room and didn't really go anywhere, and allowed sort of Chicken Contendies to sort of take the high ground. I think they were sort of stopping and waiting for Zeus and 6 Feet Under to come above and maybe start firing rockets here onto the team, as the sort of as a mock engage here is basically happening right on the top. The rest, it looks like Bounce Back are refusing to sort of come out and trying to make Chicken Contendies come to them, but it looks like they get the point for free and just are allowing them just no kills coming here, and Zeus gets taken down. So down goes the Pharah, as it looks like he blew himself up. He's going to get the res in here, as they're going to still now come through the main, as it looks like Gig is trying to push the action. Tanner from the back actually takes down Lowell's the Troll, as the rest of Chicken Contendies pushing up, and it looks like now they've pushed Bounce Back up. They're going to have to reset.
I don't know if that was the smartest strategy from Bounce Back, coming out and kind of splitting your team in half, really. For one half, doing that mock engagement on the high ground, with the other half is just kind of pecking away, on the point, really. I don't know if that was a good strategy. And I get it, you're trying to split up that goats composition. The biggest thing about goats composition is that they work together so well. So we'll see if, maybe they have a better engagement.
Yeah, and it looks like here they've actually gone to a Zen Goats configuration now, as they've had to reset, and now they're getting pushed all the way back here into the back corner. Now they're actually onto the point and fighting with the rest of Chicken Contendies. Trades here as Gig and Lowell's the Troll both going down. Transcendence comes out here from Jar Jar Dinks, as he's able to sort of hold the point here, and it forces Contendies off, and they do get the point. But it looks like the engage is not over yet, as it looks like Contendies here unwilling to sort of give up relatively easy. They're just sort of set up outside of the point here, getting ready to engage them again, as it looks like there's the Q. Borg goes down, the beat comes in, and Drake Transcendence, and bam! Chicken Contendies overwhelms Bounce Back here, and they will be bouncing right back onto that point.
They're going to take it just right back from them. And look at the ult economy they have coming into this fight. They used 2 ultimates, and now they have 3 ultimates coming online. I like how it's kind of a perfect rotation, the 3-3, ult rotation. And look at these staggers. They're just pushing them all the way back into the spawn door. You're going to have to go back to safety there, Bounce Back.
Yeah, it looks like here they're trying their best to sort of push out, but with this ult advantage, they're building it slowly but surely, and it looks like Bounce Back here are just going to have to go in dry and hope to goodness they can get some kills here, as they are at a real disadvantage right now, as it looks like Harblue has been nano boosted here. They're trying to build up his grav really fast here. I don't know if he's going to have the problem. They're running away, not engaging, just waiting for the nano boost to come back down. Finally, the team are now coming from the backside, as they're trying to do, but 2 kills immediately on a Bounce Back there. Not going to be able to recover very quickly. Diva Bomb here onto the point. Might be too little, too late. They do get Harblue as a looks like Borg actually gets demeched here onto the point. They're just clearing them off. Overtime starts to tick down. It looks like 6 Feet Under is going to be running to the point. He's not going to make it in time. And first blood here goes to Chicken Contendies.
let's kind of talk about how these guys, how Chicken Contendies are running this GOATS composition. We mentioned at the start they're running the Winston Diva instead of the Reinhardt taking that Winston spot, and I love that because it's kind of a half dive, but also you still have that frontline presence for the GOATS composition that it provides. So I think this is an amazing composition that not a lot of teams have seen. So this might be, just kind of like a Chicken Contendies little staple, just a kind of a them thing. And I really love it because you can see, Gig just hopping around it, diving onto opponents that are low health, and but still, keeping that main tank, putting down the shield, and it's a great way to peel out of engagements.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people sort of underestimate the move, sort of like flexibility of being able to sort of move around the way Gig is doing. Like with a Reinhardt, you're pretty static, as it looks like they're now going to be engaging onto the point here, and immediately the engage will take place right onto the platform here, as it looks like Gig is going to have to jump out a little bit, but it looks like Suppose got the first kill. Down goes Zeus, but Gig finally gets taken down as he was taking way too much damage there in the front. But the rest of the tank line here holding pretty strong as Hardblue and Salty pushing back, bounce back here, not able to get back onto the stairs. It looks like finally they actually come back onto the platform, as it looks like Borg here is slept, but the rest of Contendies here sort of ceding ground and waiting for Gig to come back. There he is. He's now attacking the rest of Bounce Back, but it looks like Bounce Back gets the better of the Contendies here as they're able to push them back all the way to the spawn.
Yeah, it was just kind of like the GOATS composition got split up there when Chicken Contendies got engaged. Gig kind of overextended just a bit and then was caught out there. And once you lose your main tank like that, you're not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage like that, especially with just Diva Zarya, just the two off tanks. They pump out a lot of damage, but they can't really provide a lot for the rest of the team. So, I mean, they're just going to have to fall out and re-engage, but they're going to have to run into a Graviton Surge on the other side.
Yeah, they're absolutely going to be running into a couple ults here from Jar Jar Dinks and Wolves the Troll as they take the long way around, it looks like, as they go from the high ground, trying to engage onto the point here. And it looks like Cheddar here holding the line really relatively steadily here, as it looks like the nano boost here onto Hardblue. It looks like Transcendence here will block that Graviton, and great play here from the Contendies as they're pushing back, Bounce Back here. Jar Jar Dinks nowhere to go, gets killed there into the background. It looks like they're going to be stalling for time now, as it looks like their Lucio was up in the air. That's going to do it. Contendies actually only give up only 53%.
That was an amazing play from the Contendies. They just kind of, took the ultimates and they worked with it. And we saw Sleep and the nano grenade and the grenade from Ana getting tossed in there. And with no healing being available for your team, it's just not going to work out for you. And then they just kind of got melted right now. But there's a lot of ultimates on the field right now, and we see one of them get engaged.
Yeah, as it looks like a Graviton is in there. The bomb actually gets hit on the backside of the Graviton, and will take down two, and that will end this fight relatively quickly. Great bomb there by Salty as the Contendies are pushing back in.
The Grab Diva Bomb combination. What more classic combination is there? I mean, that's just really nothing you can do. You're kind of trapped there. The bomb goes in. There's not much you do. But look, Bounce Back. They're trying to bounce back themselves. But it looks like a quick re-engagement. They didn't even have time to get set back up.
Yeah, it looks like here they're trying to see if they can use the 3 ults that they do have, maybe to try to take this point. And here comes the rally as they're going to try to push through on that. Pretty much almost invincible. Diva Bomb gets sent into the far side, will not get anyone, as a Lucio ult from the Contendies here are going to keep them holding strong. Transcendence here now by Jar Jar Dink, trying to keep his team alive and extend this fight, as it looks like the Contendies now will come in with a Transcendence of their own, trying to make sure. Another Graviton here by Hardblue, as it looks like they're going to be trapped here onto the point. Both support ults came out, but they weren't able to get more than Wolves the Troll. Borg here gets demeched, and now they're falling one by one, and it looks like this is going to be a fight win for the Contendies.
I love how the Chicken Contendies just have this mentality of never say die. I mean, like, it seems like the fight's lost, but then all of a sudden they just come back out of nowhere. They're so good at reacting to strategies and, ultimates being thrown at them on the fly. Just a very good team with solid synergy.
Yeah, and the thing about it is Contendies knows when to back off, and you've seen when they lose 1 or 2, they back off far enough that they don't get picked, but they back off so that they can still poke. And overtime now, finally here, looks like a Graviton will come in and catch the Contendies here on point. They will get Zolik here, so one and Salty will get demech, so that is going to be the opening they need. Overtime will take down here, but they look like they're going to win this fight, as Contendies are going to have to retake this point to win this map.
Yeah, but look at this. You can use the next fight if you wanted, just to build up all 6 ultimates if you're the Chicken Contendies, if you really wanted to, and then just use them all at once. There's no point in saving ultimates for the next fight, because really all you have is one fight.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And Harblu already at 75% here. The grab will be key, as they will probably try to combo that again with the bomb, but both looks like the Ana and the Zen ults are up and ready to go. So this fight is really in their favor, but look at the 5 ults here from Bounce Back. They're going to be ready to counter it all. Another rally here comes out, and here is the fight, folks. And it looks like a Depot Bomb gets sent back into the back. It looks like all the kills are going to be caught from Bounce Back here. They get the advantages. They get the 2 kills that they needed, and it looks like Contendies were unable to do anything, and it looks like they're going to be chasing them down. Will they be able to get back to the point? It looks like Salty here trying to wrap around to get back onto the point. He's nano boosted onto the point. He's going to stay alive, and the fight will continue. We're at 99-99 here as all of them start to wrap up. Contendies here have to win this fight, and they can close out Nepal, but we're going to be going to Sanctum. Down they go, though. Suppose and Salty, Gig, all going down. Harblu here on the hamster, trying his best to sort of stay on point. Tanner's coming in on the Doomfist now. He's been nerfed. I hope he can survive. No, he can't. Try to stay alive. That's not going to happen. And looks like Bounce Back get it. But get the point, and even this matchup at 1-1 here in Nepal.
Wow, yeah. I mean, it was a hard-fought match, but they were able to take it kind of out of, under their nose. I was thinking, okay, this is Chicken Contendies fight. They had 3 ultimates online, 3 ultimates not far behind them, and then once the dive kind of went in, a bounce back, they just reacted so well to everything Chicken Contendies was throwing at them, and they countered everything. They knew exactly when things were going to happen. Harblu tried to throw a Graviton on the point. Got eaten, not going to work there, and that's a great way to kind of challenge chicken Contendies. Play their game, but better. They engage, and they're just able to kind of take everything that's getting thrown at them in stride. So great bounce back for Bounce Back.
Yeah, absolutely, and their ult usage there was absolutely magnifique, as you say, because they just used it exactly the way that you needed to be done to counter what Contendies was doing. And look at this, the rest of Bounce Back is doing a giant wraparound. Looks like a ring around the rosy on the whole point, as they're going all the way to the attacking side here, as finally they're looking for the Contendies and can't find them, it seems like, as they're wrapping back again, as they're going to be going to the attack, and finally they meet them here onto the point. Finally, they're going to try to see if they can engage Gig here. Cheddar going really far out here, trying to see if he can get Gig. Gig looks like he got knocked off the point here. No main tank here for the Contendies is going to be a big problem. They're going to try to hold and contest and try to see if they can make him last as long as possible. Or getting demeched is big, but Tanner going down here is going to stall off the healing here. Contendies still trying to hold off as best as they can, as Salty and Zolik here holding onto the point. The stall is doing pretty well here. Finally, it looks like Gig has got nano boosted already. We're about 15 seconds into this fight, as it looks like the point finally will actually, no, they're still fighting onto the point here. Yeah, that looks like nobody's willing to give this up, and it looks like a Graviton in the doorway will catch Jar Jar Gigs, and he finally gets taken down, and finally it looks like the Contendies here have finally gotten the upper hand. It looks like they will be the ones that will take this point.
Yeah, they have to use a lot of ultimates right now, and I love how Bounce Back is making every fight a tough decision for Chicken Contendies. Every time they do something, they're like, okay, we don't want to invest this ultimate, but it seems like we have to secure the win. And that's exactly, Tanner dropping very low there, overextended just a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like the Bounce Back here coming right back from the right, and it will be them trying to see if they can go down main and see if they can just take this point by force, as they're trying to sort of push Gig off, as now it looks like a Graviton will actually get caught up. No, it got eaten, I think, and what happened is it didn't actually come off, as it looks like they're just sort of fighting on the point. Diva Bomb actually gets sent onto the point here, will not catch anyone, as Gig forces them back into the sort of cubby hole, as the Transcendence now by Jar Jar Ginks is now like allowing the team to sort of come out of that hole. Gig now nano boosted here, as they're just depending on him to basically, and a big Earth Shatter, as a Transcendence here by Tanner will save Gig and allow him to sort of stay up. Wow, great usage there, as Gig here has to sort of fall back. He's got to be careful. He needs to get enough healing here, as it looks like Zolik finally takes Cheddar down. Main tank for Bounce Back here finally goes down, and Contendies here, after a long fight on the point, are able to push Bounce Back to the spawn.
They just countered every ultimate that was thrown their way with an ultimate of their own. I mean, look at the ult economy. It's almost even on both sides, because they were just using ultimates to counter each other, and that fight is a very back and forth fight.
Yeah, and this is one of the points that is notoriously hard to take. Even like Overwatch League teams have issues taking this point if they've lost it. And now it looks like a giant wraparound again, as it looks like they're fighting right on the stairs here as a rally comes out. They're trying to make sure that they can get to the point, but it looks like they're actually wrapping all the way around, trying to go in for the support, as Sapok and Zolik here are trying to sort of stay alive. They get Suppose down, and Zolik goes down too. Support's down for Chicken Contendies as a bomb gets sent back into the back. Salty is able to DMAX Borg, but that's all he's got. 99% here, as it looks like Harblue's going to get taken out. They're going to give it up, but 99 is good enough for Chicken Contendies.
Exactly. I mean, look, it's the same situation as last time. They just have to win one big fight, but this time it's a little different. The other side, Bounce Back, they're starting from 0%, so they have to slowly build up that capture point percentage, rather. And really, you can't lose one fight, so their backs are against the wall right now, and we'll see if Bounce Back is able to handle everything that's being thrown at them.
Yeah, both support ults here up for Chicken Contendies, so they have something to fall back on if they start to get low here, as it looks like Salty here will be doing the engaging here, is waiting for Gig, as Gig finally joins him here onto the point. Lulsa Troll finally gets onto the stairs to sort of stop that tick down, as it looks like a Diva Bomb getting set into the back area does not get anyone, as the fight still continues onto the point. Tanner comes in, flying in with a Transcendence here to save his tank. Salty takes down Zeus. That could be the opening that they're looking for, as down goes Cheddar now too. Down two, it looks like Contendies here are going to push their advantage. It looks like Nano Boost onto Harblue, and it looks like a oh my goodness, a grab down will catch them, but it catches them onto the point. They get to overtime. Overtime ticks down as a Lucio ult comes out, and it will be Chicken Contendies here capturing the Sanctum and winning Nepal 2-1.
An amazing match between these two. I mean, we talked about before the match started, really, that Bounce Back, was a team that's relatively new. It's Harblue's going to get this play of the game right here, but I mean, it didn't really look like they're a team that's just starting out. Wow, look at that, just high charge, launching in those right clicks. Just gonna get this team right here. Amazing.
Yeah, he's known for his hog, but his Zarya is no joke, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. He was able to pretty much have Graviton available pretty much at every fight, which was pretty crazy. So the way this is going to go, for those who are unfamiliar with the format, Nepal was the opening map. So what will happen now is we will go to an escort map, and it will be, I think, chosen here by Borg, as Borg will be choosing the escort map, but it looks like they're going to go straight into Route 66, so no break for us casters. We're going to go right on in, and Route 66 is a map that has its own issues with it, doesn't it, Paul?
Oh yeah, absolutely. A lot of teams are, I feel like I say this often, but a lot of teams, even pros, still trying to figure out strategies for certain maps, and especially with maps that have a tiny bit of an issue, a little bit of a thing about it that's a little out of the ordinary. But let's talk about these two teams and how they're gonna match up here. I love the GOAT's composition with the dive kind of being thrown in there with the Winston. I know I talked about it a little bit in that last map, but what I want to expound upon is that it has such great appeal, especially on a map like we saw last time, like Nepal, where the other team could absolutely wrap around and try to get your backline there, and then the Winston just jumps across the map, and you have a main tank there defending your backline. So I love it, and I think it's a really, really great strategy to be kind of thrown out in a lot of maps.
Yeah, and well, this one specifically, with all the ledges and the high ground changes here, a Winston and a Diva combined together is going to be so useful to see if they can just sort of pick off random snipers, or maybe a Widow that could be thrown into the mix, maybe an Ana in the background. Like, as you look at the defense being set up here by Bounce Back, as you see, they have triple snipers here with the Ana. No, it looks like on the attack, it looks like they've actually gone to switch, and they will be on the attack here, as they're going to be coming in, and it looks like they're going to bring in a full Genji dive here. Yeah, and going full dive here against this sort of modified defense of Chicken Contendies in blue. And Contendies here playing really high up with a big nade here in the background. Actually takes the nade, actually hits all of the tanks, which forces them to run behind the train car, and now start to try to sort of push again here. It'll be super important for Bounce Back to get any kill they can to sort of see if they can get the movement here on to the payload. So they're looking for a kill, but Contendies here staying really tight. They do get Gig, so that is going to be the kill that they wanted to get. So it looks like Salty now is going to have to bear the brunt of tanking in the front. Zolik gets taken out here in the back line too. Salty holding Ballin as best as he can here onto the point. Tanner actually takes out Wolf the Troll. Salty finally getting demeched here and just stalling the payload, but it looks like a pause coming in. Oh, looks like we do have a bit of an issue here from one of the teams. We're going to actually go to a little big of a break here because it looks like Borg, a member here of Bounce Back, has actually left the game. So in the meantime here, we're not going to like leave you on a pause screen. We'll be right back. Once we come back, it will be Route 66 between Bounce Back and Chicken Contendies. Chicken Contendies up 1-0.
Hit the club and turn the shoot to a freak show. Look through the peephole, everybody geek, yo. Need to get girl with an extremely deep. See 6 midgets that be fighting, juggling. Maybe it's just me, cause my mind is struggling. Babes, boyfriend is acting like a clown. Know what's going down every time that we in town. Take a look through the peephole, yo. Everybody's getting geek, bro. Stop the hate and let them leaks know that we turn the club into a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club, yeah, we turn the club to a freak show. To a freak show. Snow White eating rotten apples, dirty bass that be coming at you. Roller coasters like a supernova around the ring master. This my tabernacle. See you screaming, I'm like, what for? Oh, you pop? Yeah, I got popcorn. I been wake up on the wrong lawn, so we won't stop. It's a lost cause. Take a look through the peephole, yo. Everybody's getting geek, bro. Stop the hate and let them leaks know that we turn the club into a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club, yeah, we turn the club to a freak show. To a freak show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here. We just had a couple technical issues. It looks like Borg finally has gotten back. He did have a disconnect issue before the game. So as we are joining you in the middle of action, it is Chicken Contendies up 1-0 here against Bounce Back. Bounce Back here on offense, Chicken Contendies in blue. And Chicken Contendies here having to fall back as it looks like Bounce Back here taking this initial fight and are able to push Contendies back and will be able to move this payload pretty far.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they got it around both corners, number 1 and number 2, before Chicken Contendies can even engage. Sure, they have a mobile composition, but I don't know if it's going to be fast enough as, I might have to eat my own words because it's not even around that second corner. And here comes Chicken Contendies.
Yeah, Contendies here on top of Big Earls, getting ready, as a blade is actually going to be a nano blade, but he gets caught up in the graviton here. Harblue catches the blade there, and he's not going to be able to get any max value here. Zeus unable to go ham here into the back as Tanner and Zeus here get kills of their own here into the back finally, but it looks like Harblue takes down 6 feet under, as it looks like Contendies here looking to right the ship here on defense, as it looks like they dive in onto Jar Jar Jinx. Poor guy, he gets taken out as Borg actually takes Harblue down, but it looks like back to the spawn, go Bounce Back.
Harblue just made an amazing play there. He saw the nano blade coming towards his team and just grabbed him, not making him not able to move. Just an amazingly intelligent play to kind of, react that fast, because the voice line wasn't even done by the time that graviton came out.
Yeah, and it really wasn't. So Tanner does take out Lulz the Troll. So Lulz the Troll not going to be able to get into the backline and push as much as he wanted to. So it looks like here the advantage will immediately go to the Contendies as a Diva Bomb gets sent into the back here. Hopeful Diva Bomb doesn't really get anybody as Salty takes down Borg, and now Gig actually gets taken down. They lose their main tank here, but it looks like the Contendies have this fight all locked up.
I don't know if they're going to be able to hold it for a long time, though, because then this dive is just going to be able to go in uncontested without, having to worry about a shield. Sure, they have to worry about the bubbles of Harblue, but that's about it. But look, they're kind of backing off right now, waiting for the team to get at full strength before that dive gets initiated, and here we go.
And it looks like here Gig was able to get back in time here as he gets in touch with the backline. Harblue here playing frontline tank for the meantime, as it looks like another blade here. It'll be a nano blade here by Zeus as he's trying to see if he can get anyone there. He does get Zolik, but the Transcendence is out, so he'll only get one, but a Pulse Bomb takes out Suppose too. So they've had to use about 4 ults there to take out 2 supports of the Contendies here. They're getting slow but sure push as another it looks like it's a Graviton actually was eaten, as it looks like nothing came out, as it looks like Tanner is able to kick down Lulz the Troll again. He's not been able to sort of contribute as much as he's wanted to, as the payload is still moving here. 40 seconds here as the Contendies trying to right the ship. He got a nanoed Harblue going forward, trying to destroy the shield and try to get Zeus here, who's retreating back. Another Diva Bomb here gets sent into the back. Everybody's hidden in Big Earls, but kills are coming, and they're coming for the Contendies. Wow. 25 seconds left to go, and the Contendies looking like they only have 1 fight left in them.
Yeah, that dive is just not working. The peel for this Winston is just too strong for Chicken Contendies. Every time you try to get in that backline, there's a Winston there to protect the supports, and they're just countering everything that's being thrown at them. Chicken Contendies on the verge of, making it not even get a 0.1.
Yeah, as it looks like here, Cheddar immediately tried to get onto the point, got booped off and killed right away here. So no main tank here from Bounce Back to actually deal with this push. It looks like Zolik got taken out there. That could be the support that they were looking for to see to even out this fight as Salty gets demeched. It looks like it's going the right way here as Bounce Back might be able to take this all the way, but a big Transcendence here, and Zeus goes down, and another Graviton here catches poor Lulz the Troll as he gets taken out here into the back. Borg actually is nano boosted to try to keep him on the point and help him survive. Harblue gets slept, but he's still alive here. He's not going to be able to sort of abandon the point that easily. The bomb actually gets Zolik again. He was unable to get out. It looks like overtime will take down 1.64 meters here. Contendies trying to hold this point as best as they can. As Suppose gets taken out, they're just getting whittled away here as Cheddar finally takes down Harblue too. It looks like they're able to take this point. Yes, they do. Payload gets actually clicked on to the point. Salty gets 3 there at the end, but it's a little too late.
Yeah, too little, too late indeed. I mean, it's not going to be able to work out too much. And I love how Bounce Back didn't even use a lot of ultimates there in that final fight. Sure, ultimates were thrown around, but they still have 3 online right now, 2 of them being DPS ultimates. Very scary running into Chicken Contendies like this.
Yeah, and Contendies here might have spent a little too much on that hold,
Yeah.
with them only having Gig having the ult here. So if I am Bounce Back here, I want to be as aggressive as possible, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to dive right into the backline here, as it looks like the Winston here trying to sort of ult as best as he can. So we've got both angry monkeys out on the field trying to sort of see if they can demech and delodge anybody, as it looks like Salty's going to be able to take down Zeus. So he wasn't able to sort of do anything there, not able to pull out the blade, couldn't find it, as it looks like Contendies here are just swarming the point as they're pushing back, Bounce Back all the way, so they're going to have to reset.
They're going to have to reset indeed. And Chicken Contendies, we've seen this time and time again, just able to retake the point. And with that time bank being so low right now, you don't want the time bank for the second point, because the second point is in general kind of the easiest on all of the escort maps. You want it for that third point because that's where the spawn advantage for the defense is so big. And with their time being so low, it's going to be hard for Bounce Back to come back from this. But they have 4 ultimates coming online. Lulz the Troll not far behind.
Yeah, Borg has got to play big here. He's got to watch for that grab from Harblue, because he's got it ready and willing to use here. So they've got to be super careful here. That could turn the fight. As it looks like here, they're going to be diving into the back. Lucio ult here finally gets into the back here, as it looks like it's Tanner who gets the nano boost here, but that could be good. But it looks like Harblue does catch the Bounce Back here onto the point, as it looks like Borg is going to get demeched and taken out. 30 seconds left to go. They do have another fight coming up, but the ult advantage here is starting to build on the side of the Contendies.
Yeah, wow. They just kind of they just didn't engage them really, and they just had, those ultimates. Zeus didn't even pop his ultimate, and with 20 seconds remaining, we're going to see a lot of people pressing Q here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the Q game here for both teams is going to be very, very heavy. So it looks like here they come. Suppose actually takes out Zeus. So no blade for the Genji today, as he's not going to be able to engage until afterwards. And it looks like a Discord here onto the onto the hamster. They're going to try to see if they can take him out, as it looks like it's a nanoed ulting monkey here into the back, but Salty takes out 6 feet under, as that's going to be big, as another bomb here onto the point. They're just basically just trying to push this as far as they can. Transcendence comes out here from Tanner, as he looks like he's going to be able to keep the rest of the team alive. Finally, Zeus comes out. Oh, he got killed. He couldn't use the blade, as he was taken out as he was charging in. It's going to be only Borg here left onto the point. 6 feet under comes back, but he is by himself. He's discorded, and down he goes, and overtime ticks down, and they get it just to the first corner. Pulse, my goodness, some hero plays there at the end by Chicken Contendies.
Some hero plays indeed. I mean, that's twice that they have countered that Genji ultimate from Zeus. He just tries to get into that backline, and as soon as he's there, the peel from the tanks is just too much. They're able to stop it. The first time was Harblue with that Graviton Surge. Second time was Salty, just kind of putting the defense matrix in the back line, and also, taking out Zeus before the blade was even fully out of the sheath.
Yeah, that was crazy. They needed Zeus, and they needed that blade to even up that fight there on the end. And they could have probably used the overtime ticker to their advantage, because, spawns do increase when overtime starts ticking down. They just couldn't get the kills. And then once Zeus was down, the rest of the team just sort of folded, and that was not good. But that is going to be that. They know what they're going to have to do. So Contendies here know to win this match, because it is a best of 3. They need to take it to basically right at the first corner of right before point B, and they will win this matchup. Bounce Back here have to have a pretty stout defense here, something similar to what the Contendies did to them here on point A. And it looks like here we're going to see a Wrecking Ball and a Diva come out, as it is not going to be Goats, because I do see an Ashe here out on the field.
Yeah, it is kind of a weird combination of dive with also a little bit of disruption thrown in there. I mean, that Ashe is going to be the one taking those shots from afar, while everyone's going to be concentrated on that that 3-man tank line, just moving around so fast. This is the fastest tank line in the game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you've got a highly mobile tank lineup versus the Goats comp here, the Winston Goats comp here, coming from the Contendies. The part that I worry about is the healing on the side of Bounce Back here. 6 feet under has got a lot of responsibility, so that's going to be the target that Contendies are going to be going after. If they can take her down, they might not have enough healing to take the tanks out here. So it looks like Zeus here gets dove into the backline. He is purple, and he is super low, but it looks like he's going to be able to get healed, but they're allowing to get them the first corner. No, he actually gets taken out by Tanner there into the back. 6 feet under does res him, but Gig goes down here, and now they've actually been able to flip this fight, as it looks like the Contendies are going to have to back up here, as it was a 6v5, and it's turned on its head as 6v5 for Bounce Back here.
You mentioned it a little earlier, Hodo. You said that, once that they know when to back out, Contendies knows just, not when to engage. And if you lose a main tank like that, there's no point in fighting anymore. You're just going to give them ult charge. And look at this dive coming in.
Oh, right onto Jar Jar Dinks' head. And both supports are down here as Tana pulls out the Transcendence and Lulz the Troll pulls out Bob, but Bob is just not going to be able to do anything here against this team. They're going to be able to catch point A here. I don't think the tank lineup from Bounce Back is going to come back and re-engage.
Oh, no, definitely not. And look, they're going to switch over to this full-on GOATS composition. It's the smart move to make. I mean, really, you only have half a point that you need to defend, and look at Borg still going in there, but it's all for naught. It's point capped anyway.
That is not good. He mistimed it. He wanted to catch it just in time, and now they are down a D.Va as the rest of Chicken Contendies here are just pushing their luck here. They're trying to see if they can get anyway. Big Graviton here sent into the back. Oh, the shield was able to stay up there. They weren't able to get the shield down from the Reinhardt, but they do get the kills that they need, and down go Bounce Back. This is not looking good for them at all.
This is not really looking good. Yeah, it's definitely not. I mean, Borg has to engage with his D.Va bomb. Come out of the gate, throw it in, get them off that point so your defense can find some kind of foothold to get in here.
Yeah, and it's getting really dangerous now as they're coming around the corner. That golden box of victory is right there. As finally, here comes Cheddar and that Reinhardt as they're trying to get through. They need a hold here, and they need one bad. As it looks like Salty, though, is able to take him down. Lucio ult comes out here. Could this be the last stand here of Bounce Back? They're trying to sort of hold this as best they can. D.Va bomb gets onto the point. It's creeping and crawling onto that box as Gig takes out Jar Jar Dinks, and down goes Lulz the Troll. That's going to be that, I think, as the fight will continue here, but Borg trying his best to sort of stay on the point. Down he goes. The hamster trying his best. Cheddar back, not going to be able to do it. It looks like the Lucio was trying to sort of hold it as best as they can, but that's going to be that. Chicken Contendies here takes the first win here in Group C over Bounce Back 2-0.
An amazing game we just saw going out here, and Yega's gonna get this play of the game. And I love Chicken Contendies. Everything that they did was just a calculated move. Look at this combination right here. A nano boosted Winston going into that Graviton Surge. He's just tasing everyone. That is how you'd have this great synergy and team composition. And look, credit to Bounce Back as well. They made the fights really hard for Chicken Contendies, and for a team that's just getting together, color me impressed.
Yeah, very impressed indeed. Bounce Back actually showing a lot of backbone here. I really liked their performance on Nepal, and their performance here on 66 is nothing to sneeze at either. So they did a really good job here against a very good Chicken Contendies team here. So Bounce Back here, I think, are still able to qualify into tomorrow if they win out here in their group. Remember, this is a sort of this is one of those tournaments where you do have the possibility of advancing from second place if you do have a great record here. So kudos to Bounce Back, and congratulations to Chicken Contendies. They get our first win of the day here of the Horizon Community Cup number 3. So that will be our first match here today. We will be continuing here at the top of the hour. Our scheduled matchup at 8 o'clock here, it will be Horizon Zenith and Team Lividosity. I will be, I know. So do you know anything about either of those teams, Pulse?
I mean, I've seen them play a little bit before and kind of just, little scrims going back and forth. And I could tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that is a match you definitely want to watch, because those are two supreme teams.
Yes, both teams over 4,300 SR. So definitely good watching. So join us again here at 8 o'clock. We're going to go here into a little break, and that's going to do it for my co-commentator, Pulse here. Pulse, thank you so much for joining me today. Did a fantastic job.
Oh, thank you so much. It was so fun to watch these two teams kind of go head-to-head, and I'm excited to see more Horizon. And I'm actually just going to shift over to the audience side, so I'll see you guys in Twitch chat.
Yeah, so goodbye to Pulse here, as HX9 will be joining me here at the top of the hour for the Horizon Zenith and Lividosity. That will be our next matchup here. It will be round 2 of this opening tournament for the Horizon Community Cup. We'll be going to a break here as we will wait for both teams to fill into the spot. So for Pulse, I'm Hodo. Join us again here at the top of the hour. It will be Horizon Zenith and Lividosity will be your featured match here on the Horizon Overwatch channel. It was a victory for Chicken Contendies over their opponents, bounce back 2-0. I'm Hodahori. Join us back again here at 8 o'clock. Be here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Horizon Community Cup number 3. I am your caster, Hodori, and we are here at the top of the hour. And our next match is upon us. It is Horizon Zenith and Team Lividosity. Yes, Horizon Zenith coming off of a win in their first match here over Blank Space. Lividosity looking for their first win here. They did go down to the Young Guns. Joining me as my color commentator is HX9. How you doing, HX?
Well, I'm doing great here, Hodahori. It's been a solid weekend so far. We got the holidays coming up here as well. It's just the best time of year to watch some Overwatch.
Oh, it is. It is. And we're going into the breaks here. So hopefully like we're going to be there's going to be a lot of fun Overwatch to watch here during the holiday season. As we're going to go introduce the two teams here. HX, you're very familiar with both of the teams that are in the match today. Horizon Zenith here coming in with a solid squad, right?
Oh yeah, we got quite a few great players here on Horizon Zenith. You'll notice that on their particular roster, you're seeing 2 tanks, 2 DPS, and 2 heals as their primary roles, but I do imagine we are going to see quite a bit of goats from them as well. Some players of note here that you might not, might be wanting to look out for on your own out there as the viewers. Jay Bright on the Zenyatta. I would say this is probably one of the best Zenyatas that's outside of the Contenders region right now. So keep an eye on him. Also, Box 6 on the Diva. I think I've seen quite a few good Divas, but one of the things that Box 6 has going over a lot of other ones is a substantially better aim than other Divas that you might see. So if we get a lot of first-person stuff on him, if we're able to watch from his point of view, you're going to see that, and you're going to be hearing ding, 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 because he kind of nails a bunch of heads.
Yes, absolutely. Horizon Zenith here, a very, very good team here representing Horizon. So very, very, very good team to watch out for. As for Lividosity, you'll see Professity and Twist here as tanks, Solus and Poster Boy going to be your DPS, and Quakes and Artsy Fartsy going to be your supports. But it looks like Max Demencio here will be substituting for one of their players, as it looks like one of their players is just not here in time. So they're going to be either running with Max Demencio here or going to be having to play really, really late here with their sub. So it looks like Lividosity here trying to make sure that they do not play shorthanded or without their main roster that they're without. Lividosity here, I heard, have been getting together and running a secret comp, but nobody knows what it is, HX.
Nobody but some of us insiders here, and fortunately they've asked us not to go ahead and reveal any of their super secret strategies, but I'll let you know if we do see them tonight. Awesome Bash actually in here for Artsy Fartsy right now. Awesome Bash being an predominantly an Ana player, but we might see some other heroes from as well. And yes, we did mention that Poster Boy also sitting out here for Max Demencio. That is a DPS player that's coming in there. I think he and Solus actually have a lot of heroes that they kind of play the same heroes that they play. I know they're both Genji players, so that might come to hurt them if they don't get their primary player there back in. But we'll have to see if that's really going to be the case, or if really playing the same heroes isn't going to make too much of a difference here.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. So let's just let you know what the lineup of the maps are. We will be starting here on Busan. So for round 2, it will be Busan as your first map. We will then go to a hybrid map. It will be the first hybrid map that we have seen here on the mainstream. And then we'll go to an escort map. And if teams are tied after 3, if there happens to be a tie on the hybrid map, we will go to Ilios as the final map, as now both teams here have readied up, and we will be starting in Busan. And this is a newer map for Overwatch, so it'll be interesting to see in competition how Busan acts. There are 3 maps. It will be Downtown Sanctuary and the Mecha Base, and it looks like we're starting here in Downtown.
Well, downtown Busan is probably the most diverse in terms of compositions. This one tends to lean towards dive compositions, so we're probably going to see a lot of Winston Diva compositions here. Some teams are running goats, jumping onto the point and trying to hold it, but you end up quite at a disadvantage because of all the varied high ground around the points. I do expect us to see Widowmakers as well. We did see on those character portraits there that you were watching that Metaphor is one of those players that tends to play that Widowmaker. I'd expect to see that and maybe some other high ground related characters here.
Yeah, I'm seeing pharmacies coming out on both sides here. I don't know if they're trying to fool us, but that looks like what they're going to be coming out with. Probably trying to, as you said, playing the high ground here with 17 seconds left to go. It looks like that's what we're going to be doing. For those at home, it will be Horizon Zenith in blue. and Team Lividosity here in red with 10 seconds left to go. Looks like they're going to be locked in here. Max Demencio going here with the Widowmaker on this push, so very interesting here. And now looks like last minute changes here. Looks like they're gonna go goats here on the Zenith side, as it looks like they're just fooling everybody here. As now it looks like, yeah, it looks like they got to be careful here, but it looks like the pharmacy here on the side of Lividosity is going to sort of try to attack and try to take out this sort of tanky line of Metaphor. Actually takes out Max Demencio here, as Metaphor getting the initial kill here. It gets immediately dived on and killed here by X Solus. So it looks like they're going to lose both Widows on both sides, as Box 6 is able to sort of de-mech Twist and take him out. It looks like Horizon Zenith here has gotten the advantage, and they will probably take point A.
Yeah, it started out with an early pick there from Metaphor, and that just opens things up. So even though they lost their other Widow, the extra damage, the freedom to kind of fly around gave them the opportunity to get in there and just finish up the point. Going into this second push here, we aren't seeing many differences in the ult charges on either side. The fight was quick enough that neither team's going to really have the advantage there. But Solus, he's going to have to be able to find some kind of opening here. He's just not getting the damage out right now.
Yeah, he really isn't, and he's trying to sort of hide behind corners. He's trying to be really, really careful here and not get killed here by Metaphor, as it looks like they're sort of just trapped in behind as they're trying to sort of engage here from the back. Metaphor takes out Quakes though, so they do get an advantage here, and it is a 6v5 here for Horizon Zenith. But Max Demencio takes out the Lucio on the other side too, so even trades here, as it now is sort of attacked and now going to be devolving a little bit into a fight as Cedro takes out two. It looks like Zenith is going to be finishing out this fight. It looks like there's only Twist here left onto the point, and he's going to get knocked off.
Gotta have the discipline here to run away a little sooner there on that offense. A couple folks here definitely kind of pushed in there when the fight was already over. I'd say that right now, they pretty much pushed a couple extra ultimates into the favor of Horizon's team here. So Zenith here, I'd expect to hold once again now that they have this, but look at that. Switching off to full goats now on the side. I don't know. I don't kind of agree with this. The high ground, again, can be really punishing to them.
Yeah, it can be very punishing, but they've really put themselves at a huge ult disadvantage as Box 6 takes out Awesome Bash, as it looks like here Transcendence comes out here by J-Bright just to make sure that everybody on the point here is going to survive, and that's exactly what happens here, as the Solus here on that Brigitte is going to try to survive, but that might be that. 87% here, could that have been the last fight?
Widowmaker doesn't have to click heads to get damage in, and right now Metaphor's just uncontested, freely shooting tanks, and, you know, at couple hundred damage a shot, 300 damage as he happens to hit the head, he's just not going to stop that damage.
Yeah, overtime's now ticks down here. It's 99-0 as the Diva Bomb actually gets set onto the point here. It's going to make him clear out, but nobody goes down to the bomb by Twist, as Box 6 puts out a bomb of his own here, but he gets Awesome Bash, but Clutch goes down here for Zenith, but it looks like the advantage here still with Horizon Zenith, as they're in the middle of cleanup here. J-Bright D-Mex Twists, as now it's just a matter of time as they're going to have to just sort of finish out the tank lineup here of Lividosity. Lividosity here not doing very well here on the original point. Finally, they're sort of coming back here as a rally comes out here by Solus here, and finally, it looks like J-Bright had to pull out the Transcendence here to keep the rest of his team up, as now it looks like some supports here coming back, as Clutch is now back, trying to get rid of Solus here. Down Chi goes, as now it looks like the hamster releases some all right here onto the point. That's going to clear out and sort of zone out a little bit of Zenith here, but Cedro doing a really good job avoiding the mines and taking out two in the process, as it looks like here down goes Twist, and it will be Zenith here who will capture this point and take first blood here on Busan.
Starting out with that Reinhardt really wasn't the right play there. Keeping the extra pressure onto Widow actually nearly got them the point there on the Lividosity side, but Metaphor stayed alive long enough that that damage was just kind of tapering out towards the end there. And although they did start with the early picks, as is overtime rules, if you don't get more picks along the way, you're just going to end up getting taken out in the long run by the respawns.
Yeah, absolutely. As we now go into Mecha Base, which is a little different from the other two maps, which are a little bit more open. With Mecha Base here, it's a little bit enclosed. They have these moving doors here, as you can see, that will move based on the alarm that shows up. So it'll be very interesting to see what both teams come out with.
Well, it's just going to be goats. This is a goats map for goats teams playing goats in goats choke points. It's just, you know, there's a lot of grass to be eaten on this field. Gotta bring the goats in.
And the goats are coming in to sort of wipe up all that grass as the engage actually happens on the high ground here, as both teams are looking to see who will take the advantage, as they're just using that pillar as a way of defending, as finally it looks like nobody's really sort of trying to sort of come out. It looks like Lividosity has the side that they want, but it looks like they're the ones that are going to be taken down here as they slowly but surely get taken out, and it will be Zenith here capturing point A.
A lot better use of their healing cooldowns, actually. Basically, when you're doing the goats versus goats composition with this particular triple healer setup, it's all about sustaining. You don't really have that big healer in either of these compositions, so Lucio has to be given time, and Brigitte's cooldown has to be given time to come back up so you can get those people topped off. They didn't wait for it on the side of Lividosity, so they kind of fell down there after Ryan went down.
Yeah, a little bit of that impatience cost them, and now they're coming back again, but they go right into a graviton here and get caught onto the wall, and down go 3 members of Lividosity, 4, as it looks like the rest of them are just going to get wiped off this map, and down they go. Lividosity here, not looking really good here at Mega Base.
Even if you lose those fights here, Hotohori, you should have parity and ult charge in Goats v Goats. You're not going to be that far behind, but you're going to be a little behind. So you expect to lose the second fight, sure, but you don't expect to be down 40, almost actually 60% here when you're Zarya. So Max Dimencio, he's got to get this game going here.
Yeah, he really absolutely has got to pick it up a little bit, as Cedro here gets the initial kill, and Horizon Zenith here looking dominant here on Mega Base, as they're just wiping them out. Every time they come in, they're just getting wiped out here onto the point, and it's just like they just have no answer for this Ghost coming out of Horizon.
Usually when you get this point, Hodori, it's over. The fight is done. These choke points are really hard to get through in Goats v Goats. It's just really hard to get through in general, so I'd say this is pretty much expected. But 1 ult per fight? I mean, come on. You gotta get more than that out of them.
Yeah, and it looks like here they immediately are deciding to fight onto the point. Diva Bomb gets sent in by Horizon, does not get anybody, but J-Bright comes out here with the Transcendence and a Lucio ult here, and another Graviton catches the rest of Lividosity, but it looks like it was a great Earth Shatter here, was able to stall up and give them a chance to fight back here, and now they're getting some kills. As it looks like here, finally, they're able to take down the members here of Horizon Zenith, but at 99%, this might be a little too far for them to get back to.
Well, I don't know. You know, again, taking this point is actually the exception to the rule. They were down 4 ults there, and they didn't even use their Graviton Surge. The reason they took that, again, they actually played the patience game. I wouldn't be surprised if they were listening to me here, Hodor. Yeah, telling them, you know, you gotta play for the sustain. They sustained through all those ultimates that were coming at them. So, great job on their part. They could be able to keep this all the rest of the way through.
Yeah, they do have an ult advantage here if they're able to start taking people out, and J-Bright goes down first, so there's the advantage that they were looking for. And Box 6 gets demeched here, and back to the spawn they go. As you're right, they're having their way now with Zenith here at this choke and just sort of pushing them back into the spawn.
We're going to talk a little bit about Max here. He's been holding on to this Graviton Surge. Metaphor is about to get to his 3rd one, whereas Max hasn't fired a single one yet. I still think that's okay. Holding it the last fight and this fight was the correct play.
Mm-hmm. So now it looks like now the seats have changed here, as it now looks like Zenith are now going to the point. Here comes that Graviton from Max. He finally uses it, catches Clutch in Box 6, but a Transcendence come out, and then here comes the counter grab, and that's going to take out some members here of Lividosity. 2 of them go down here as a rally comes out here from Solus, who's trying to save the rest of the team, but Quakes actually does take Cedro out. Solus finally goes down as he's focused in by the rest of Zenith here. Has gone into a brawl, but the advantage here with Horizon Zenith, they just need to be able to finish off the rest of the people on the point. Max Dimencio here is the only one left here, as they're going to be able to sort of cap this point, as Cedro here guarding the entryway. Twist actually is the final person finally on the point, and now it ticks up. Will they be able to get back as they're sort of running back to the spawn here? Diva Bomb actually onto the point to ensure their win here on Busan. Horizon Zenith takes first blood 2-0.
Yeah, it was a good engage by Zenith. They took advantage of the positioning of the defense there, Lividosity. And again, you just have to move quickly on that point so you can cover all those choke points. If it ends up being an open versus open fight, it really could be anyone's game. They can block ultimates. They can do the same thing that basically Lividosity did on their way in. So I would say right now, I'd change 2 things if I was Lividosity. Make sure you're getting those ultimates out a little bit quicker if you're Max. I'd say that's a big one. Also, that first fight is very key on any of these maps. They've lost that first fight every time so far now, which is, again, only 2 times. But still, losing that first fight can be pretty critical in the current metagame. you just got to bring a little bit of patience to the game. Make sure your healers have enough time to top you off when you take those inevitable big hits.
Yeah, and it looks like here a late substitution. As looks like Austin Bash here is going to leave, and looks like Artsy Fartsy has finally made it. So they will have Artsy Fartsy here in for Numbani, which will be the next map here between the two teams. As we will go to a hybrid map, and Numbani is one of those maps that is just it's a weird map because it's one of those maps where the defense actually has a bit of an advantage on point A. So it's very odd in the sense that sort of defending point A can be a little sort of different here with regards to the rest of the maps that you see in Overwatch hybrid maps where defense really doesn't have an advantage at all and the offense is coming in, but with Numbani it's just a little different.
Yeah, and another thing that's interesting about it is a lot of teams play some a very wide variety of compositions on the defense too. There are still a lot of dive goats, or three healer, three tank compositions being run on the offense. That way they can get to that high ground usually. So the
Mhm.
dive is very important. But on the defense, you can run soldier, you can run Torbjorn, and yes, new Torbjorn does still works kind of in some meta games. I'd say at the higher levels he still gets taken out. You can run Orisa Bastion. There are lots of different ways you can consider countering here. Now, here's one thing I think people should consider, Hodori. I don't know if we're going to see it today, but my bet is, okay, mark my words, okay, this is going to be a little while before we see this. My word, I believe Bastion will be a meta hero after the changes they made to him this season.
Interesting. You're tell me why? Because it seems like with the way that the Bastion changes, sort of with the way that the changes have happened. I mean, is it because of some of the additional support players that he has, or is it just because the output and damage that like healers are just not going to be able to support?
Range extension on his sentry mode, because he can plan himself and do a lot more damage further away. Goats doesn't have that same range where they're just not taking enough damage to Reinhardt's shield, so they don't get that time to get in there. So I think that in a lot of these maps like this one, I think we might start seeing some changes where the Bastion actually comes into play. It just has this long range turret. It's crazy how much damage he does now.
Wow, that's really, really interesting. And now as we get to the initial engage here onto the point, as it looks like Lividosity just straight dive here as they're going to try to see it. And as you see the Bastion here by Clutch, just trying to sort of make sure that he's able to sort of knock down anybody, as you said, with that extended range here. They're trying to stay in that sort of dead spot straight down here as Solus tries to get onto the point. They're giving up a little bit of tick here as Box 6 here is getting demeched. He's going to stay onto the point and contest, and that's just going to be able to sort of keep them sort of occupied in the meantime, as Cedro here now has to sort of drop down. Finally, they're sort of get him down. Clutch takes out Professity, as it looks like here they're trying to make sure if they can get anybody else here, as it looks like Cedro is able to sort of hold off. Twist gets demeched as Clutch takes down 3 now at this point. He takes out Twist, Mech. Finally, he gets taken down here, but the rest of the team here has sort of fallen apart. They're going to have to reset.
Yeah, they didn't notice Clutch move over there and didn't react to him quickly enough, and they were out of defense matrix too. Twizzed. He just didn't make it there. Didn't have enough in time there. But Bastion's going to take a little too long to run back here. So I don't know. I don't think this is going to hold for them very much longer.
Well, he's got the ult, which is probably why he's coming back with it, but it looks like they've already dived into the back corner there. As Metaphor here coming out with a nano visor is able to, and Cedro taking out 2. He actually takes out Twist out of his mech. So this fight is going the way of Horizon here. They do only end up giving away a tick, and now we've got the ulting Bastion in the background, seeing if he can able to sort of finish anybody out, but that's going to be that, and they've got to go back to the drawing board.
And that was a bad engage. They had the ult disadvantage there. Sure, Soldier was popping his ultimate, but they could have jumped on that Soldier. He was pretty much free in a corner there. So I think, again, got to consider where you're going to engage here. Now I would say they have the ultimate advantage on the offense, so I hope they use it well.
Yeah, I hope so too. And it looks like here they're going straight into that little dead spot corner, as it looks like Solus going in with the blade is able to take down 2 right away. They're going to have the huge advantage here in this fight, as both supports here are down. Cedro does take Solus down for the trade, but it might be just a little too far too late here, as Box 6 gets demech, so no Diva here on the field available for Zenith, as Zenith here trying to hold out as best as they can, as Cedro trying to sort of hold on onto the point here. He's sort of trying to be on the corner, trying to contest as best as he can, but Professity here into the back is just sort of wreaking havoc with anybody with the respawner. Cedro here holding onto the point here, is getting the healing. Oh, and he finally goes down here. Cam actually pops the Lucio ult, and he's going to be able to stay onto the point as Twist gets demeched here. Clutch has moved onto the high ground, is able to sort of finish them off. Lividosity is unable to take the point.
That was a close one, and it really was won by DPS picking some awkward 1v1s in certain areas too. I would say though they lost the tick because of that as well, so it was a good trade, I'd say. Obviously they didn't lose the point, so that's better than losing just the tick, or that's better than, you know, the alternate scenario that happened. But you got to be a little bit more on the ball there with these DPS. I think they just need to be in a better position to actually start firing as they're coming down the choke.
Yeah, now the engage immediately happens and EMP comes out here. They immediately take Clutch and Cam down, so that probably going to be that. They do need is a tick, but they sort of refuse to get onto the point, and finally Metaphor actually does take down Quakes as Box 6 gets demeched himself, and now the fight finally going the way here of Lividosity though, but Cedro still onto the point here, still surviving, finally take him down, and that's going to finally be that, I think. Yep. Cam is actually staggered out and he gets killed there at the very end.
Very appropriate engage there, taking out Solus before he could really get his, not Solus. Solus taking out the Bastion there before he could get his tank form out there. Very well done, very well executed. Again, you kind of have to know that Sombra's coming there, so I would have popped my tank form the second they were coming down that aisle there. Because again, tank form does not get canceled by that hack, so a little bit of a misplay there, I'd say.
Yeah, a little bit, just a little too late there. As Cam here trying to sort of hold up the payload, as it looks like the nano visor from Metaphor takes down 2, takes down 3 now. With help from Clutch here, as Quakes is trying to run back to spawn, unable to do so, and they're able to stop this payload right around the corner.
A pretty standard execution there, but now the offense sitting on plenty of ultimates. They're going to definitely want to engage here with this Genji Blade before this Lucio and Brig get their ultimates up. They know that those ultimates are still going to be down. They've seen them go out before. So this is the time now. This is their time to get this point.
Yeah, as it looks like 2 kills immediately as Clutch and Cam go down here. Metaphor goes down, and they're going to win this fight relatively easily here. Now it's a matter of just stalling the payload at this point. And Box 6 is the only person left here onto the payload. Him on that Diva is going to get knocked back and probably killed relatively easily here. They're going to get pretty far here with all the team now having to spawn really in the back.
Yeah, they pushed way too far forward there, and they got picked off one by one. That's not what you want to do. You needed to build up ults. And look, Lucio and Brigida, they didn't even get 10% of their ult in that engage. They needed at least 20-30%. They had to be on their ults right now to survive this. So here we go, point 2. Guarantee it's going to Lividosity here, Hodori.
Yeah, it is. It's got a 4 ult advantage. Here comes the EMP and a bomb here just to sort of zone out the point. They're just ensuring using these ults to make sure that they absolutely get the point B here. Still 2 meters left to go. They do get the initial kills that they want, and down goes point B. And now with a minute 55 here, they blew about 4 of their ults here to make sure that they got that point. So they've actually evened up the ult economy. So it'll be very interesting here how they go forward.
Yeah, evened it out, but they didn't even have to pop that Genji Blade again. It's crazy how much he's keeping that. And Lucio, again, I've been really monitoring these ultimates because this is the most key ultimates in this next fight. Cam, only 75%, only went up 15% in that last fight. You've got to have that sound barrier at this point. It's going to be critical in the next fight. Watch Solus here, Hodori.
Yeah, and here he comes. Whoa! And it looks like here he got bashed, but he does get that Nano Blade off, is able to get into the back, and does take out Clutch, as it looks like Box 6 has to deal with the Sombra here into the back, but the rest of Zenith here on the point is able to stall out the payload while everybody went into the back here. So 3 members of Horizon Zenith here just holding on onto the payload, as Cedro and Metaphor here are just sort of holding their own with 60 seconds here left onto the clock. As it looks like they're just sort of fighting back. Metaphor takes down Professity, as it looks like the rest of Zenith here have come back. Cam finally gets that Lucio ult here, and they're going to be able to push back Lividosity here all the way back to spawn here with only 45 seconds left on the clock.
What an amazing denial of Solus's ult there by Clutch. Got the bash, got the little bit of the flail there, the whip flail, essentially knocking him away just enough that he really couldn't do too much. Sure, he got a kill, but then you saw it and you called it out. They were just sitting on the payload. I think if Kenshi actually went backwards there instead of forwards, He might have gotten quite a few kills there on that payload.
Yeah, he just picked the wrong direction on the engage here. Watch for Maximencio and the EMP, but it looks like a Graviton here into the back. But that didn't get to the Diva Bomb. They're going to be able to send it into the middle, but they don't get anyone. But this is going to be the fight that they need to win, as Cedro here gets taken out here by Twist. So looks like Zenith loses their main tank, but Clutch takes out Quake. So it's a 1v1, 1-for-1 trade. Metaphor takes down Solus, but he gets taken down himself here. They're going to end up winning this fight in overtime, it looks like, as Box 6 are just trying to sort of stall this out. They know they have a little bit of a spawn advantage here, as Box 6 now finally running back, but it is going to be Lividosity going to be coming around the corner, as the engage is probably going to end up starting right away.
Oh man, this is going to be a quick one. They are going to be down Box 6 for a little bit here, so now's the time to get a little bit of extra engage here. They're not getting back to the point very quickly, though. They chosen to make no swaps here. Crazy.
Yeah, and an Earthshatter comes in, takes Cedro and Cam out, and down they go, and it looks like Zenith here just unable to sort of stop them, as overtime will tick down, but will they have anybody to stop it? Metaphor and J-Bright come out, and here comes the Transcendence, and that will stall them up here at the very end here. It will be up to Zenith to get any kills here to sort of stall out. Well, remember, remaining members of Lividosity, but they are up. They're up 2 now. It looks like Metaphor and J-Bright have given their lives for this hold. Box 6 gets D-Max. Cedro is able to take out Max Demencio, as Cedro trying to sort of hold off as best as he can. Diva Bomb gets sent into the air. That's going to clear out the rest of Zenith, and they're going to capture this point in overtime.
Keeping it alive. They had over half the point to go. They managed to pick it up in overtime here. I will have one correction here. Artsy Fartsy did swap from Ana to Moira. That is a very solid swap. If you're one of those supports and you're wondering, hey, what are my return heroes? Moira is a great one to pick up in overtime. She just gets there faster. That fade is great. Anyway, that being said, basically by stalling out that point for as long as he did, Box 6 staggered himself from his entire team. It also gave the offense enough time to regroup and get all 6 people back. Had he let them push the payload pretty far there, I think they actually would have had a better chance of getting some time there, regrouping as 6 against maybe way less of an offense there. So yeah, sometimes, stalling's the right choice, Odori, but I don't think that was the right time here. But we'll see what happens. We're going to switch up sides here, and getting it all the way to the end means that 1 minute left on the clock or more is all they need on this offense to pretty much ensure they get a draw and maybe even win it.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're unfamiliar with the rules of hybrid, if Zenith actually just completes with more than a minute, they do actually get a free push. So that is what they're going to be aiming for here. But they first got to get through this defense of Lividosity here. And it looks like they're going to be setting up with a dive defense here. So it's very interesting. So they're not going to pull any shenanigans here, HX. They're just going to go straight up and see if they can just sort of dive right onto Zenith here on this attack. And Zenith looking like they're going with a sort of a modified sort of triple support combo themselves with a Sombra. So it'll be very interesting to see how they attack it.
Yeah, defense here running Cyber Dive. It's a pretty classic anti-goats, anti-dotes composition. You hack the guys as they come in. The dive comes in. Lots of opportunity for that to just straight up outplay them if your Sombra plays kind of back with your team. Also, of course, the EMP plus Blade. Just a great composition that is now coming out after the changes to Brigitte and the changes to just some of the other heroes that have happened so far.
Yeah, and exactly. With some of the changes coming out here, it'll be the teams that be able to sort of navigate those changes first and figure out what is advantageous are going to have some real advantages early on here in competitive. So it looks like here they're just sort of opposite on these sides of each other, just taking the high ground here. They do have a little bit of an advantage here as they're sort of pushing in on Lividosity. Lividosity deciding to sort of defend behind the corner as Max Demencio goes down and Twist gets demeched here. And it looks like the way that this is going to be a pretty easy take here for Zenith as they are wiping out the members of Lividosity. Yeah, that's going to be that. And this is going to be a fairly easy point A take.
Yeah, Lividosity needs to engage into the back line. It's kind of difficult against this team, of course. You got Jay Bright there, and again, it's one of the premier Zenyatas in Tier 3 right now. So you got a little bit of a danger there when you're going against him. You're going to get Discord and get wiped out. So basically, again, though, the Cyber Dive is good when it dives. It's often a lot better on offense than it is on defense. So you have to turn your defense into an offense and get the advantage, get that early engage, or you're just going to get wiped out like they did there.
Yeah, and they're giving up a lot of space here on point B, so they're probably just going to engage them here right around the second corner as they come around the bus. As it looks like here they're just sort of matching them up. So it looks like Here they come on the dive here, trying to get into the backline with a sort of nano Solus here. The Transcendence comes out from J-Bright here, and that will sort of nullify the effects here of Solus here into the back. He didn't pull out the blade, he waited for it, but he's got really low amount of health here. He's got to be super careful. Is he going to get anybody? No, Solus actually gets taken out. So that's going to be that, and a Diva Bomb gets sent into the back here, and that's going to clear out the members of Lividosity. They don't, none of them fall to it, but they're going to have to retreat as the rest of them are sort of retreating back to spawn. They know they had to give it up.
Unfortunately, Max got wiped out before he could use that EMP, or at least got pushed off before he could use the EMP. That was what they really needed to prevent those support ultimates from dealing with their Genji blade. You do see them switching off the Genji, though. They're now on the Brigida.
Yeah, and they are on the Brigida now, but the EMP calls right away, but was not able to get the Zen. So Cam is able to get that Lucio, on the Zen, on the Lucio. He was about to get that, he got that ult out, so now it looks like they're going to be able to sort of hold this a little bit longer than they should, as Metaphor takes out Professity, but J-Bright gets taken down, so Zenyatta Extraordinaire goes down. That could be a huge kill, but it looks like Twist gets demeched, but this is going all Horizon Zenith now, as it looks like they're trying to sort of hold it as best as they can, as Box 6 takes down Quakes, and that's going to be that. Max Dimencio is the only person left here onto the point. He's going to stagger himself, but 451 on point C here is a huge amount of time.
McCree seems to be the answer to these dive compositions now that he's had that 10 damage increase to his Fan the Hammer, or his right-click ability that many of you probably know it as an additional 60 damage when he hits his right-click with a full clip. That's a crazy amount to hit tanks with, so that's in addition to the already crazy amount of damage he did before. So that's why they use him, and that's why you see him in that comp there.
Yeah, and it looks like they start off here with the rally into the back as the Diva Bomb gets sent into the back, but Professity and the rest of his team are starting to push forward, trying to make sure that they be very aggressive here on this push. They're able to take down 2, as J-Bright is able to take out Artsy Fartsy, but that might be for naught, as it looks like the rest of Zenith here are going to have to pull back. Box 6 here having to retreat.
Yeah, J-Bright building ults very quickly. Keep an eye on him again. I just gotta say, this guy is doing so much damage, and that's part of the reason why this Zen Lucio Brigida comp works in spite of not having that big healer. Your Zen does the extra damage, gets that Discord out. Watch those Discord orbs too. They're getting very well onto target, but their damage just wasn't there at that time.
Yeah, so here he comes with the Transcendence here, and going to try to make sure that they win this fight around this corner. Professity here into the back, he's in no man's land. There was nothing they could really do for him. They had a bubble on him, but there's nothing that could happen. But the rest of Zenith here pulling their weight as they're pulling, forcing Lividosity back into spawn here, as it looks like they're going to try to sort of hold him there and let the payload come around the corner.
Yep, and they have the advantage here on the defense now. They just have to come out together. They know they have to just hold it at the very end, so this is the right strategy to go with.
Yeah, as it looks like a Earthshatter comes in, and it's going to catch them with a Diva Bomb coming out. It looks like it's going to get sent into the back, but doesn't get anybody, as it looks like here a Rally and a Lucio ult coming out at the same time. Clutch here takes out Solus. So the advantage here with Zenith here, Lividosity's got to sort of stay onto the point and be able to survive this push, but it's not probably going to happen. Graviton actually catches Artsy Fartsy here into the corner, and the rest of Lividosity go down. They have an eternity in the time bank here, and Zenith will be going for the win here on Numbani.
Yeah, Solus there and just barely missing out on the ultimate. I think that might have been a very big difference. The counter shatters, they always say with Roadhog, right? The hog that hooks first is the hog that loses, because the other hog's going to hook you and shoot you right back in the face after he gets a free shot at you after your hook. So it's the same thing with shatters. If you do not get the Ryan in your shatter, it doesn't matter how many people you knock down. Your whole team's getting knocked down while you're still holding your hammer down against the ground. So that's exactly what happened. You got to be careful with these Earth Shatters, I think, in this composition, in this fight. So hopefully we'll see a little bit of a difference here from Lividosity on the defense. They got to be aware that Metaphor is going to be running this McCree, and it just does not bode well for their dive composition if they don't change just how they execute with this comp.
Yeah, it'll be very, very interesting. And it looks like Max Dimencio is actually going to be pulling out the Bastion here and probably trying to do what Zenith did on point A to them, which was like sort of stall them out here, position the Bastion up on the high ground and force them to sort of come on. But remember, they only need a tick. So like, if they're able to sort of nullify the Bastion in the very, very beginning, this could be very dangerous here for Lividosity. As we saw every time that they were able to eliminate the Bastion, they ended up giving a tick here on the initial offense.
Yeah, they didn't even really just needed to get in a position where he couldn't shoot him. So yeah, I'd say this is pretty dangerous here that they're running it. They are running the Junkrat very interesting choice. I think that Metaphor is actually going to have a little bit of trouble against this composition as McCree, though. That is the big difference between what they were running previously, the Goats versus this Dotes plus McCree. So you're really not going to have a tough time getting through that Orisa shield with this composition. Yeah, they're running right back.
Yeah, they're running right back because they saw what's on defense, and they're going right back to spawn here, and they're going to try to do something up. This is very smart of them. They have an enormous time bank. Anything over 2 minutes is just a tremendous amount of time here, and now they've actually switched here as they will go to a pharmacy lineup with a dive. So it looks like Metaphor going to the Hanzo and the pharmacy, and looks like some changes here on the long run. So they're going for long-range rockets here, and they're just going to try to shoot into that shield and the bastion here and try to sort of make some space for themselves. I don't know if they're going to be able to get through that shield. That Orisa has been pretty good, and they're going to just dive on in here, as it looks like they're going to be trying to make sure that they get Max Demencio here, and they've trapped them up. They want to make sure that they sort of fight right underneath the bastion where they can't shoot. They've already gotten the advantage onto the point, but Demencio actually takes Clutch down. Cedro does DMEC twist here, but this is not actually happening for them. J-Bright gets Clutch back up, and the fight continues, and the advantage here looks like with Zenith, but looks like it's pretty even, as it looks like Max Demencio is back up. Looks like they're probably going to have to reset here, as Bach and Cam here are on the point. They see where Max Demencio is. They're trying to focus and take him down. He's getting nano boosted here, so they're not going to be able to do anything with the damage reduction of Nano moves. Nano does a tremendous amount of healing, side healing on the way then with regards to it. So also Max Demencio pushing them back, and now down to a minute here. They're got to have to figure out, because ults are now coming online.
That extra 10 shots that Bastion has in that recon mode is keeping him alive here. The timing with the dive, two ways you can time your dive here, Hodahori. Dive after Orisa pops her shield so she can't put 2 down, or dive when the Bastion's reloading. This is the case where you want to dive when the Bastion's reloading.
Yeah, and they send in a dragon here into the area to sort of clean him up, as Cam gets a sort of an ulted bastion to the face, and so does Clutch here. They're going to be able to hold them out here as Max Demencio going to town, takes out Metaphor too. 30 seconds left here. It looks like Lividosity are going to be able to hold here. One more attack coming out from Zenith. What are they going to be able to do?
It's going to be tough. Clutch just has to get in a position where he can use this rocket barrage. Get that out there, guaranteed victory. And it's a very good ult to fight against Bastion. But remember, this Bastion's longer range is what I was talking to you about, Hodori. He's doing a massive amount of damage. I don't think they're just expecting. It's not just tickles from far away now. It's much bigger tickles.
Yeah, it is serious damage as they send a Diva Bomb into the back. That's not going to get anybody, as a Lucio ult comes down, and a Junkrat Tire here is going to take out Metaphor, who was trying to sneak around and see if he can get the Bastion down. Cedro actually gets down the Bongo that they had laid down in order for a Diva Bomb actually gets sent behind the shield, and that's going to just take down the shield. This is the last stand here. It looks like they're going to try to see if they can get anybody down, but it looks like Cedro is going to go down. They're going to be able to hold here, and it is going to be a draw here for Lividosity and Zenith.
Theodori Bastion meta, it's here. You know, you thought I was kidding, but I'm serious. That range damage and that extra clip, it's absurd. 10 extra shots. That's almost 50% more shots in his recon mode clip. It's an absurd amount. And remember, he reloads each of the clips on his other gun when he's switching back and forth between those modes. So it's a great strategy to run him. You still can't run him on the street phases at different points, sure. And he's still not going to be sitting on payloads everywhere. But regardless of that, great job on both teams for utilizing these new strategies. And yeah, it looks like we're going to be hitting map 3 for sure here.
Yeah, this is going to be the first map 3 of the cast, as the previous match between Chicken Contendies and Bounce Back actually only went 2-0. So now we will go to a third map, and the third map is going to be an escort map. But the advantage here still with Zenith, as they were the ones that won Busan. So it'll be very interesting. They're trying to figure out like what map they're going to do. I think it is still Lividosity's choice as which map they play, as they were the last team to lose. But I am not exactly sure on the rules on that, because it is going to be they're trying to sort of figure this out now. If I'm either team, an escort map here actually plays to sort of both of these dive-esque sort of teams, and it looks like and it looks like here both teams a little bit confused also. So I'm thinking that we probably need to go to a quick break here, as they're trying to sort of decide on the rules. So when we come back, we will be going to an escort map here between Horizon Zenith and Lividosity, just to clear up some confusion between the two teams. Actually, no. Looks like tiebreaker is going to be Ilios. So it looks like no, there is still confusion here. So we're just going to go to a break here, and once we get all this straightened out, we will be right back. It will be an escort map between Horizon Zenith and Lividosity. Horizon Zenith with the advantage here, 1-0. All right, fellas, welcome back, everyone. We are now in Route 66. We had a little bit of a rules clarification. So the map choice did end up going to Lividosity, who was the loser of the first map. So now we are in Route 66, and it will be Horizon Zenith will be on defense here, as it looks like Lividosity will also be on offense, and they're going to be running here with a pharmacy to start off 66, HX.
Yep, and they're going to do the hold as close as you can strategy, of course. Very solid strat, gets you 2 fights guaranteed here. Of course, going against a Pharah, maybe a little bit difficult for them to get the stall here that early. So good luck shooting her. What are you going to shoot her with here, Hodori?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they
throwing
can shoot it
rocks.
with. Yeah, it's like Box 6 will probably have to get up in her face and do something, but it looks like that's not going to happen. There he goes, trying to get into her face to see if he can deal with Solus in the air. But now it looks like here the Professity here on the hamster ball here, trying to sort of split up the rest of the team as the engage here happens up in the air. Solus here already almost at an ult here. They're going to be able to just been firing rockets just free. And there's the ult as I say that, as Jay Bright and Clutch both go down here. The advantage really with Lividosity here as they're sort of stalling out Zenith. The rest of Zenith here are still onto the point as Mines gets dropped onto the point here. Cedro's got to be super careful he doesn't get blown up. But it looks like he is able to sort of hold his own here with Box 6, and they've started another engage as this fight will not stop as Professity here trying to do what he can. Finally gets Cedro down here as the main tank finally goes down, as it looks like Artsy Fartsy here in the air trying to make sure that he gets trying to get all the boost that he can onto the players here from Lividosity. They finally end up winning the fight here, and now they will be going to point A.
Yeah, this comp doesn't work against this comp. The defense getting rolled over by endless missiles from Solus there. And Max Dementio, he's ready. He's ready to EMP this team too. They're not going to be able to use any ultimates here when they come out this door.
No, they're not, and it's going to be very problematic here. There it is, and here's the EMP. The Coalescence was actually exchanged by Jay Bright here way in the back, so therefore he didn't get affected by it, as it looks like he's going to try to basically heal the rest of his team. Graviton Bomb actually onto the point here, as able to get Max Dementio, and it looks like the rest of Lividosity here are starting to fall back just a little bit here without their Sombra, and yes, they are retreating here. It actually is a fight win here for Horizon Zenith.
I don't think that was the right time to pop that EMP. You know you can counter ultimates with it, especially the Lucio ult, the Moira ult. I mean, pretty much all the ultimates there can get countered. So I don't know. I would have saved a little bit till I could get more people in it.
Yeah, Diva Bomb actually gets sent right onto the top of Big Earls. Doesn't really get anybody here, and a big Earth Shatter here is trying to catch Professity, trying to get him onto the point. Down goes the Hamster, as it looks like it's a 2-for-2 switch here, as Solus is able to get Jay Bright and D-Mech Bach into the back. So now it looks like the offense has a bit of an advantage here, but but Max Dementio goes down again, and it looks like Zenith here holding pretty strong right around the first corner around Big Earls.
Yeah, I don't know really much to say there about that one. Just didn't feel like the right time to engage. They need to go around the back, or they really need to do something about this Moira. Jay Bright's pretty much getting infinite healing out right now. It's absurd amount of healing. So when you lose your Pharah, it's just over. Even if she does manage to get a pick.
Yeah, and here comes another ult here from the Hamster as he drops mines right onto the front side of the point here, but no kills yet coming out from Lividosity. So it looks like Box 6 is just sort of focusing on Twist here. They're trying to get the Diva from Lividosity demeched here, but they actually end up demeching Bach in the process. So it looks like Solus finally finishing off Bach, as it looks like a Coalescence coming off here from Jay Bright. He's trying to see if he can get anybody that's out in the air with that Coalescence. And it looks like a Graviton into the back is not going to get anyone, as Professity here into the back, trying to see if he can get Metaphor. Diva Bomb gets set into the back. Metaphor finally gets taken down here by Professity, and it looks like Clutch here is by himself. No, it looks like Jay Bright here trying his best to sort of solo this point by himself, but finally he gets taken down, and it looks like Lividosity will take point A.
And Twiz there getting shield bashed by Clutch, unable to remech after he used his bomb. But in any case, that aside, again, this was a much better ultimate by Max, able to get a little bit cleaner targets there, and actually able to get the follow-up there as well. So it could go. I think this is going to keep going their way right now. But Metaphor switching to that Widowmaker, that's going to help a lot against Solus. I would expect him to switch off here pretty soon too.
Yeah. So here they're already started engaging, trying to see if they can make some space for themselves here through point B, and he drops the mines in a very wide pattern, but Metaphor takes down 2. So the fight here looks like it's probably already over, as Professity here is going to have to sort of go back to spawn with the rest of his team, and it looks like here's just cleanup of the mines.
Metaphor, you got to watch out for those mines, man. I know the fight's over, but 2 mines, you're done. Get a little close, but you know, maybe he's getting that extra healing for his team, right? He run into that mine, doesn't give Hammond any ult charge, but does give your team some.
Yes.
So now definitely have some options here to switch up the comp, but it doesn't look like they're going to. It looks like they're going to keep going with what they got here. Got to deal with Metaphor then. That's my only advice to Lividosity here. If you don't deal with him, he's just going to be clicking your heads. You're not going to be able to stop him.
Yeah, Max Dimencio here looking for the EMP into the back here, just looking for the right time. Metaphor here is going to try to take out Exol's out, and it looks like immediately EMP actually gets pulled out, but it was all the way out in the back. I don't think it got many players at all, as the Lucio is able to sort of stay on there, and now the engage is actually coming in. Metaphor gets taken down. Solus actually takes him down, so he's now going to be able to sort of free fire into the backline here of Horizon Zenith, as Lividosity here trying to sort of push as best as they can, but Clutch takes out Max Dimencio. And it's right, here comes another coalescence here by J-Bright here, and that's going to try to see if they can take out Solus here with that, as it looks like he's getting pushed all the way back. Artsy Fartsy is going to have to run back too. Professity sitting on the point, trying to get any time they can, but with only 30 seconds left, it's going to be really hard here for Lividosity.
Looks like healing is just keeping this defense alive forever. So you got to hand it to them. Right now, this composition is just too much healing throughput for Solus to really do too much of a dent into them. So we see Max switching it up to Widowmaker. They're putting a lot of faith in him in this map to get to that to get to the Metaphor. Oh boy.
Yeah. Absolutely. So the one-on-one duel here is what we're going to need to watch. If Max can take out Metaphor, or maybe this bomb can take out Metaphor, that would be something. But no, unfortunately not. But Max Dimencio actually gets taken out first here by Cedro, so they lose him into this fight, and we're in overtime here as Cedro trying to sort of press the advantage. He takes out Artsy Fartsy, so therefore no healing here on the side on the side of Lividosity. They've lost too many players as Professity goes down. That's going to be that here as Max Dimencio comes back here onto the Sombra. On the Tracer, excuse me, he's not going to be able to do anything as the bomb comes off, and that's going to be that. And they only get, like, halfway, not even to the first corner of point B, and Horizon Zenith looking in good shape here to take 66.
The composition just couldn't cut it. They really needed to swap off that Pharah. They needed to swap on to just DPS that could actually handle the situation that was there. And trying to leave it in Max's hands for one last fight at the very end, it's not going to work. He got dived on because, again, on Route 66, when you're going offense with Widowmaker there on point B, there are only 3 places you can pop out. So dive got to him really quickly, and he was just toast. So I definitely have a chance to hold this here. I'm starting to put this in the favor of Zenith, though. I think, and right now, if they take this, it's over. They've won. They'll have it 2-0-1. Oh, boy. Tough place for Lividosity here, Hodori.
Yeah, it is a very tough place because Lividosity needed the win here. They need to win this match because they did lose to Young Guns in the previous match. So in order for them to pretty much stay in the tournament, they needed this win over Horizon Zenith. If Zenith win here, they go up to a 2-0 record. Depending on what Young Guns do, that third match could determine who gets out of the group, because going into tomorrow, it's going to be super important, and the Horizon Zenith team want to make a good showing here for their home tournament. So it'll be very interesting to see if they just go full guns blazing here on point A to make sure that they can cap this really, really, really quickly. So with 14 seconds left to go, it looks like it's going to be a dive defense here coming out here from Lividosity, and I see something somewhat similar here, but it only is a Diva on the side of Horizon Zenith.
No, there's no way. Yeah, they're switching it up right now.
Oh,
anyway, yeah, Cedro's a tank. So they're just going standard Dotes comp here. This is what you expect to see on an offense on Route 66. Let you get up to that high ground. We do see the Cyber Dive on the defense here. Again, this does work very well against the Dotes comp. Just got to make sure you get a good hacks on those folks as they dive in, or take care of the backline. Look at this Zen. So exposed. So
exposed, but they weren't able to get J-Bright down. So it'll be very, very interesting. They had to sort of fall back a little bit though, because they just didn't. It wasn't an area where the fight was just not advantageous here to Horizon Zenith. Now they've reset here on top of the ledge. Yep, exactly. And they're sort of pushing through here now. And now they're sort of pushing on. They're going to demech Twist, and that is going to be huge. So they do not have a Diva left here, and now that's going to be the go sign here as Metaphor and J-Bright Cedro clearing out the members here of Lividosity, as it looks like Professity and Twist finally get taken out, and they're going to win this fight. And now they're going to get a free run here to almost the end of point A.
Yeah, McCree swap there, pretty much destroying Twiz. That's just how good he is against this dive team. That you bring the Reinhardt out here, he can't do much at all. But without the Reinhardt, those dive tanks, man, they're just gonna get melted here if they don't play right.
Yeah, so it looks like here they're trying to sort of make sure they dive into the backline here of Zenith. So the fight has actually gone to the area where J-Bright and Cam are, trying to see if they can get the supports. Max Dimencio actually does get a kill here on Metaphor, so they lose that that McCree as Max Demencio is trying to see if he can take Jay Bright down. They can't do it, as it looks like it's a Nano Blade here coming out here from Solus, but he's not going to be able to do anything. Immediately countered here by the Transcendence there. Jay Bright doing what he needed to do, and now the kills are coming in all for Horizon Zenith as they're able to sort of wipe them out. They gambled heavily on that Nano Blade, and they lost.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't decide to use EMP there too. Definitely had some options for sure to shut down that Zen beforehand. Again, you kind of nullify a lot of the Dote's comp with your EMP. It prevents them from using those defensive ults, and then they end up using them in kind of an awkward spot. That's kind of the point. Oh, with that kill from Metaphor, I think they're all but locking this up though. Look how far this point has to go. It's peanuts.
Yeah, and RT Farty being down, it's the time that's going to get him. It's not going to be the fact trying to respawn. Max Demencio here going to try to sort of stall it as best as they can to allow them to maybe come back. And here comes the EMP. They're really far in the back, as it looks like Lucio comes out to see if they can save anybody. Nobody gets taken out by the bomb, but Zedro does finally get taken out by Quakes. But Metaphor takes out Max Demencio as a fight will occur here, right here on the point. Remember, there's 3 minutes and 44 seconds here, so any kills onto the side of Horizon Zenith is just bad news here for Lividosity. But Lividosity here taking it to Zenith, and they're able to sort of hold them off here on this first fight.
That was a solid hold, pushing in there as quickly as they could when they were at disadvantage. You see the swaps now as a result. What do you do against dive? You know, what do you do against goats? You throw your own goats against it, right? So they know they have to play close here, so now they're going to try to get this high ground. Look at this. I'm not sure that's going to really do them much good here.
Well, it looks like they're the defenders now, as they pushed all of Lividosity back to their spawn. As it looks like they now have their backs to the payload, and it is Lividosity that is on offense, but instead they are actually defending this payload, but they are getting taken out. Jay Bright looking like a man possessed there, just basically on the payload, protecting all of his team. They've trapped all of Lividosity into that small room. Great flank there by Horizon Zenith, and that is going to be that. Horizon Zenith take the win here over Lividosity 2-0.
It was a great showing by Horizon Zenith. Very excited to see how they're going to do in this tournament as they proceed forward here. Just definitely had a couple of the compositions there in their belt that really gave them trouble there. I'd say that McCree from Metaphor and his Widowmaker were my MVPs of this game. Absolutely dominating performance by them, but I also got to hand it to the healers there on the side of Zenith as well. It's hard to give one healer play of the game when all three of them are doing such a great job. So the healer MVP for sure. I'm giving it to Jay Bright, building those ults as quickly as he is. Plus, it reaffirms what I said earlier. It's Jay Bright, man. This guy's great.
Yeah, he is absolutely fantastic, and the way he was just getting Transcendence after Transcendence, it was absolutely great. Lividosity, unfortunately, were unable to win this match, so they go 0-2 going into their third match. So unfortunately for them, I think that spells it for them in this tournament. Horizon Zenith there with 2 wins, looking very good going into their final match here with the Young Guns. And that is going to be that for our second match here. HX9, any final thoughts here before we go into our third match?
Well, I would say that be watching here. I think next game has NA Scrims, right? So if NA Scrims, I would say if they have all their people there, this is the team to look out for in the open division. These people are nuts, okay? They're absolutely insane. I think they're the team that's going to win the entire open division. It's the one you got to be looking out for. So be very excited for the next round. If you're sitting in your chair right now, go get yourself a drink during the break here, but you better be right back because these guys are, oh man, crazy.
You'll be able to catch both myself, Hotohori, and HX9 tomorrow at this time between 7 and 8. We will be calling, I think, the second match, possibly the semifinals, leading into the finals of tomorrow, and you'll be able to catch Pulse and Matt Rien at tomorrow between 6 and 7 on Sunday. So we will be going. That'll be it for both of us. So you'll catch us tomorrow. Coming in will be Beatdown Boulevard and Matt, as they will be casting the third match here with NA Scrims here in the third match. But for HX9, I am Hotohori. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned. At the top of the hour will be the next match of the Horizon Community Cup number 3. But for HX9, I'm Hoto. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
The apocalypse. I'm gonna throw my memories away. Now I feel I'm done, and I am cursed by every day till my time is gone. I've never felt this way before, and now I know this all for sure. I won't forget your last betray. I'll never forget this day. 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 I'm gonna throw my memories away. Now I feel I'm done, and I am cursed by every day till my time is gone. I've never felt this way before, and now I know this all for sure. I won't forget your last betray. I'll never forget this day. 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 I'm gonna throw my memories away. Now I feel I'm done, and I am cursed by every day till my time is gone. I've never felt this way before, and now I know this all for sure. I won't forget your last betray. I'll never forget this day.
Atoms fall apart. Solar flares arrive. Buildings collapse. Only a few will survive.
All right. Well, we're back with more Horizon Community Cup here. Round 3. It's going to be Who versus NA Scrims. I'm Rian. Joined with me today is my good buddy, Beatdown Boulevard. Are you ready for these teams, Beatdown?
I'm absolutely ready. Any Scrims
yeah.
team, we have seeds often enough before. I'm so ready to watch them play, and I'm very interested in Who, as I haven't seen them play before.
Yeah. You know, NA Scrims, that's a team we've seen dominate in the AG Weekly. We've actually had the pleasure of casting them before, right, Beatdown?
Oh, that's right. It's been a good time. I'm so excited to see Red Rex's, what's the word I'm looking for? Big tank energy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's the one. Gotta keep PG, friends.
Yeah. But yeah, this should definitely be a great game between the two. You know, NA Scrims, of course, the team we know. Who exactly? Who are they? Is the question perhaps on everyone's minds. I've heard snippets of them here and there. I have yet to see their full power, so I'm excited to kind of see their debut in a way for me.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested as well. So yeah, we're not gonna, since we're starting a little bit late, apologies for that. We're gonna get
Yep.
right into this. I'm sure the teams are ready to go. Rarin, exactly. And now just waiting for these final checks. Yeah, you know how it is in scrim lobbies.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, not even scrims, just any lobby in
Just
general,
lobbies.
right? Yeah. But Busan, our first map. This map is also an open division map, so I'm sure these teams have been practicing them for their open division runs. If they are even playing in open division, they should be because they are just that good. So we're going to
Agreed.
pause just to start things off, and that gives us time. Beatdown. Let's break down the Sanctuary.
I just want to really quickly say that's got to be some kind of record. 5 seconds in and we got to pause. Good
Oh
stuff.
boy, beautiful.
Oh, I know. And okay, so let's break down Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Super wide open map. Probably going to see goats.
Yeah.
Let's be
Definitely.
honest. Yeah. But who knows? I see Valentine rocking that Bastion and we're back into the lobby, but still.
All right, exciting.
Yeah. But yeah, Bastion. Who knows? Could be viable. Could
Perhaps.
go horribly wrong.
Another comp that I have seen on. Oh, never mind. We're not even on Busan. Moving over to Nepal.
Ultimate debate here at Horizon
Yeah.
Community Cup.
I
Even
mean,
got the casters.
I mean, hey, Vita, usually it's that the teams will debate us with team compositions, but no, they had the audacity to debate us in the entire map. So Nepal, this map is one of the classics. Been here since launch. These teams know how to play this, and we're gonna be starting off on Nepal Village. I'm sure you've seen this map. Maybe been hunting some Yetis on this one, but is this
Not
a goats
quite
map beatdown? It's a goats.
Oh,
map,
I think it's
isn't it?
a go. And you know what? Maybe not. It's pretty common here where people actually run the May. I don't consider May goats because May's not a tank. It's not 3-3, but it is a very viable strategy. If you can get that first cap with the May, wall yourself off. It's so difficult to dislodge the May. It's like the ultimate stall tactic at the end of a 2CP defense.
Yeah. It really is going to come down to that first fight win, right? And we've seen, especially on Control, team that wins the fight first usually ends up winning the map.
Yeah, it usually is the case, especially in this goats meta, just because the fact that there's so many you cycle your ultimates so well, you get so far ahead in the ult charge, winning that first fight, and you just cycle your tank ults for the map. But we're not gonna see who run the goats at all. They're going for this Pharah, Hanzo. They're going for triple DPS Rian.
All right, this is really interesting. We've seen triple DPS as sort of a counter to goats, especially with the Pharah here. And Gossarino, I'm excited to see him land some of those damage boosted rockets to the point. He's looking for Frosted right now. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. Has to drop back for the time being. Control point's going to unlock in 2 seconds, and Valentine is the first frag. Mudkip finds him with the orbs, getting that long range damage in, but a counter DMEC is going to be on Frosted, and Scope does manage to secure that kill. Now, Who try to make the run to the point, but 2 quick kills on Fofi Nereo mean that this is going to go towards the NA Scrims.
Yeah, despite the best efforts from Scope, not enough is going to get done here. He's going to fall. You see, the problem is with these, TPS heavy comps, you are truly definition of a glass cannon. You need to be able to focus with all that damage you have onto at least one person, get the kills because you're so fragile. Your health pools are so small. So now, first gap is going to go to NA Scrims.
And look at the ultimate advantage, right? You see most of them, they're a lot closer to their ults than most of the members of Who are. And, okay, maybe a little bit of back gap here. See Muffin Man dropping back to hold the point. You've got 30% on it already. And Max, separated from his team, isolated, is taken down by Mudkip's orbs. And without your tank, how hard is it to cap? It's very hard. So I expect them to keep fighting just because they have ultimates to work with, right? This tire that comes out right away is able to get the DMAC onto Frosted. Actually, he does kill Red Rex too. Gets killed by the baby diva of Frosted, but because Hammond is able to get back to the point so fast, he's here. Valentine's just res right back up. Barrage on the point, but it doesn't even matter because his team slaughtered everyone before he could get value out of it.
Yeah, a little all over the place right now with this composition. Yeah, and I mean, we're starting to see some ults come online here. On the side of any scrims, they're gonna still have a chance here to just flip this right back. Red Rex, Romanov, Frosted, all 3 of them are about to come on to some really strong, powerful ultimates here. Docerino, unfortunately, committed the rocket barrage, but he didn't really need to do so. So we'll see how they go with this.
All right, well, in comes the Rally Dragon Strike, Hammond Mines as well, and NA Scrims are just going to walk right past all of it. Valentine frag to start things off. Mac is next. He's the only one contesting this point. And that 1000 HP of Hammond, it's a lot, but how long can it last when you're right in the middle of Ghost like that? He goes for the pile driver, moves right in, and just completely and utterly melted down. Shadow used from Red Rex to secure that kill.
Well, the thing when you run the Wrecking Ball single tank, it just buys you time, and not a whole lot because 1000 HP health pool against goats. You know, they don't have the most damage compared to other comps, but it means that you have a time limit. Your Hammond can only give you this much time. Your DPS need to do something about it. Who seem to be struggling right now to do that? Mac buys them the time, he buys them the space, but the focus still isn't there, and they keep losing fights for it. Now, last fight territory, Romanov has the grab, man. It's not looking good.
Oh, there we go. Big opening. And Gosserino's going to drop down from the back, looking for this barrage. He finds it, but Frost is there to eat it up with the Matrix. However, Valentine scores 2 with the tire. Both healers down. Romanov's next. There's the recap.
Yeah, but still, 96%, not a great position here. I'm sure if you're NA Scrims, you're still feeling pretty good about this. You have such a strong ultimate in the Graviton Surge right now, and a lot of the big ultimates from the side of Who were expended in that last fight. No fear of the tire. As long as you're coordinated, you can deal with the Dragon Strike.
Yeah.
So now, all they got to do is run into this point, get a fat grab, catch 2 or 3 people, and that's the round.
I really love Red Rex's swap over onto the Winston. One of the things I noticed is that goats really can't do anything against these long-range DPS, right? They're just sitting at the edge of the point, spamming in. But Winston can dive upon them. You're going to see that Graviton Surge on the point, and 2 quick kills coming out of that. The recap from NA Scrims as well. No members of Who were there to contest. You see Scopes kind of hanging around on the outside, but he's got to get on the point. The touch in the first place gets booped out. Dosserino, though, is there to save him. Dosserino very low as well, shortly to be taken down here by Mudkip. Maybe, yep, Mudkip finally finds that. Now it's a Zen duel. Fofi, though, comes in, helps his teammate out, and now we're going to see a recap here for the Who, but 99% for NA Scrims. Very close.
Yeah, unfortunately, Romanov couldn't find enough with the grab, realizing the Zarya probably isn't going to work anymore. They're going for a Sombra this time. I think they want to... Yeah, I think they're kind of tired of Dosserino. They really haven't had a clear answer to him up until this point. Now you hack the Pharah. Pharah pretty much becomes, almost useless, and it's very easy to focus down. So, that's probably the goal here. They're gonna Dantwist, rather, is gonna armor up and go for this push.
All right, and Scope hacked right away, and he goes down. Was very close to the Transcendent, so great target priority. You're going to see the barrage as well. Rio falls, though. No mercy. Hammond Mine's on the point, but Hammond himself is hacked. Dosserino gets nothing out of that barrage and is lasered down by Romanov. There's the counter cap by NA Scrims. Fofi tries with the Dragon Strike, but he's not going to find anything, and that's going to be this map going to NA Scrims. You tried, Scope, but you just could not make it in the end.
No, he couldn't. And NA Scrims, I like the willingness to swap throughout the entire round here. They were really smart with how they made their switches. Like they only swapped their comp slowly as they expended ult, so they never really gave up the ult advantage that they have had throughout the entire round. But on top of that, Who, kind of throwing their ultimates out and just hoping something sticks really helped in that regard as well.
Yeah, and NA Scrims, they had to swap up their comp a lot, which is what eventually got them to be able to win the point in the first place. But one of the things I noticed is even though NA Scrim won that first fight, again, their ultimate advantage, even though while it was there, it wasn't that much, because who are you doing damage to, right? Really only the Hammond. Everyone else just sits around on the outside of the point. And moving into Sanctum, you're not really going to have as much opportunities for those long-range fights. Maybe a little bit with Valentine's Widow here, but interesting team comp from Who, nonetheless.
Yeah, this double sniper on the attack is going to be very interesting here, but still, with such a tank comp, it's going to be hard, but Red Rex goes down as I say that.
Yeah, and they're looking for it. Scope actually goes down by his own hands. I'm not sure if he was knocked over the edge or if he just ended up dying, but Dosserino finds that headshot onto Mudkip. Point unlocking here, so they've all got to get on it. And we're seeing a more classical comp out of the Who here. They're just running a composition that we've seen a lot, which is the Orisa Hog, the pulled pork, and the double sniper. It's a bit of a throwback, to be honest with you, after all these months of Ghosts, and Dosserino fragging out right now.
Oh yeah, this guy's just having a good time. Already has the Dragon Strike. He's going to throw it right in, and that's first cap for Who. Looks like the NA Scrims are going to have to back up here. This comp does work really well, only because NA Scrims are letting it happen. You run this Goats dive comp, you have the advantage onto the Orisa because that mobility is something she can't deal with. But, if you just stay around, you play the poke phase, don't poke a double sniper comp. You'll lose. You can't do that. It's not even a contest. So now, first cap, and now Valentine's rather looking for some opening shots here.
Yeah, and Red Rex, you're moving on the side. Perhaps NA Scrims has adjusted that. They're going to dive in right away. Nice, the look away from Red Rex to avoid getting headshot, and Dosarino is found right away. The hook from Fofi can't really find anything. Muffin Man, though, dives into the middle of the team and goes down himself. You're going to see the whole wall come out from Fofi to laser down Red Rex, and he's looking for more. He's hungry for more. Romanov is next. That's going to be a quick fight win for the Who off the back of that ultimate.
And this is kind of this is where you see the triple tank composition struggle a little bit. Not as much like burst damage in there. So it is hard to kill like a full health Roadhog who's also whole hogging you.
Yeah.
So that was a really good play from Fofi there, getting them back into the corner, just eating all that damage. And now 60% and counting. Who are looking much better this time around. Walls are up too.
Red Rex moving back in, wants to pressure Scope in the back line, but Scope is playing with his Mercy nearing, and Muffin Man goes aggressive, able to secure that kill. Rayo, they're looking for Rayo next, but Rayo able to escape with just a sliver of HP, but Muffin Man, he's got your number, Rayo. He's hunting you down, but Mudkip is the one to get that fragging out right now with a double. No, Dan Twist over the edge with a shield bash. He whiffed it, and his Scrims will be able to cap this point off the back of those kills, but you hate to see that happen.
Yeah, but hey, man, Dan Twist, the real hero, sacrifices his life for his team's victory. Maybe NA Scrims would have liked it to be a little sooner. 85%, not an ideal time, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, now they got to push. Who have to push into this point with the Orisa. Valentine going to swap to the McCree.
Yeah.
Kind of wants a bit of an answer to this dive here. As long as he's well protected by his team, they can make use of the flashbang, stun and burst down some targets.
Yeah, the fan, the hammer changes have made it incredibly strong as an ability. Diva Bomb able to avoid it. Muffin Man goes in, gets the boop. Valentine is gone. And Muffin Man lives to tell the tale, but not for long. Dosarino finds him. Fofi's next, though. In comes Red Rex, try to cleave this backline. Get the damage in there to build up to his Primal Rage. But the counter Dragon Strike comes out. Dosarino looks for the damage, but everyone's able to get right and out of the way. But the res comes in onto Fofi here, who hooks Red Rex and takes him down instantly. It's not looking very good here for the NA Scrims. Beat's going to be used on the point. Muffin Man's looking for the boop. He can't find it for the time being, and he's just trying to avoid just being killed right now and contest the point for as long as possible. Jumping her up, but Dosarino shoots him out of the air. Mudkip uses the Transcendence because there's a Graviton Surge, and he tries to follow up on it, but it's just not going to eventually work out in the end. Dan Twist goes down. No Brigitte. Romanov returns to the, actually Frosted returns to the point rather, and is trying to support Romanov in this frontline battle. Romanov's been doing a great job of just staying alive here. 95 energy, but finally goes down to Dosarino. Frosted goes into the pit. Mudkip's gone. 87% recap for through.
This is probably it for NA Scrims here. Romanov, I believe that was his first Graviton playing the Zarya for this entire round and only getting the one grab. Shows just how little value they were getting out of it. So now we're going to have to late swap, but how much can we get out of this early tracer?
We're going to see the Primal Rage used right away, and Red Rex just can't find anything. Meanwhile, the ultimates, Frosted gets the kill into Rio. Muffin Man on the point. Trying to make things work, but goes down to Fofi. Frosted there, and then you're just going to get whole hog into the wall. OT ticking down. Who is going to capture Sanctum and even things out 1-1 with a superior composition?
Not just the superior. I wouldn't even argue that this was the superior composition. I think it was just excellent play here out of Who, and credit where credit is due. But I do think NA Scrims were kind of lacking in this approach here. You play this tank heavy dive comp, which is great. It appears to me that it would work really well against what Who was running. But the problem is they weren't really as aggressive as they needed to be with those dives. Yeah, they get a pick or two, and then they kind of run out of steam. And on top of that, Fofi on this Roadhog, largely uncontested the entire time, and leaving a Roadhog onto his own devices is quite dangerous, especially in a map where you can just hook him right off the edge.
All right, now it's almost as if teams have swapped because NA Scrims is running the more wacky composition here. They've got the solo tank hammer. This is very similar to what the Who was running on Nepal Village, and Red Rex goes into the backline, goes for the pile driver, gets his shields up, but he's still very low. It is found by Valentine. It was all in that shield bash that was able to kill him. Again, there's no Zarya to give him a bubble to allow him to survive that, so Dan Twist is trying to make things work with these rockets. 61% to the barrage. Maybe if he can build up and find a big one, but it's not looking too good for the NA Scrims.
And you see, I understand what they're going for with this composition, but running the Tracer into a Brig composition is still very dangerous.
That's
sure, you can't get one shot by the Brig, but you still have the threat of the rest of the team. Like, this is organized team play, so it is something you do have to be mindful of. We're going to see some swaps here. Oh, actually, instead of... Now we're seeing some... Oh, no,
right,
we're seeing wholesale swaps from any script.
Yep.
Confusing me a little bit here, but actually, I kind of wish they stuck with that composition for the most part. Now, they just sacrificed... Look at that. Their ult charge is starting literally from 0. But as you see the Who, it's quite the opposite. Dosarino already has the rally halfway to all their other ults.
And Dosarino going to use the rally right away here. Both teams moving in. It's the Zen Goats Mirror, so it's whoever dies first who drops the shield and gets the Discord, and that is going to be Red Rex. The first casualty. Romanov is next. And the Who will be able to hold this with just one ultimate.
And even more ult charge fed to Who. Now, they're looking even more dangerous, and we're already at 50% Rian. Look at that. Romanov, only 43% to the grab. Valentine is sure to get it in the next fight, especially with given how high energy he is. Actually, lost a bit of energy, but not anymore. But still, 75%, that's pretty much guaranteed he's going to have this grab. Mac's going to have this shatter. Both of their support ults, I dare say, unless there's a miracle, any Scrims is done.
All right, well, we're going to be keeping an eye here on Mac, trying to find this shatter, playing the frontline game. Red Rex has got that Discord orb on him, and he's pushing in. You're going to see he's going to get cleansed with that, but the Graviton Surge comes in. It's huge. Bomb in the back. Don't even need it. Mac swinging away, does all the damage you need.
And Bomb was just a distraction for Mac's great hammer swings. Now we're going to the last fight here, and NA Scrims not even completely spawned. Still no powerful ultimates. Oh, and they're going for the full hold. Mac has, or sorry, the upfront hold. Mac has the shatter. If he lands that, it's done.
Oh, it goes in. I think it was blocked by the great bubble there out of Romanov. Overtime on the point. Now you see Mudkip tries to touch it. He's going to be able to get there along with Muffin Man. Nobody else from Who is actually on the point right now because they're all shattered in the front. Now they're Graviton. So a flip is going to come out for the NA Scrims. Big bomb out of Frosted. Gets the double. Even the D-Mech onto Fofi. Valentine is next. NA Scrims will win this fight. But now you got to win the war. You got a whole lot of time ahead of you.
And they win this fight, but at what cost, Riyadh? Look at that. Look at the 3 tank ultimates. Use them all. Use the sound barrier. Now they have nothing. The Who, arguably so, have about similar ult charges across the board. But here's the problem. They have so much time to build it back up and just retake this point here. So this is still a really dangerous situation for NA Scrims.
Mac pushing the front line right away, gains 40% of, or 20% of his ult charge instantly, but so does Red Rex, and now they've evened out this Shatter War. Bomb on the point. Danto's going to be able to block it. Mac charges in. That's actually a bit of a mistake because he goes down to Frosted. Trent Senate's invested. Mudkip built that up so very quickly. This is going to be another win for the NA Scrims, and now they've got ultimates beat down.
Yeah, but here's the problem. They don't have a response for Valentine's grab. No support ults online for NA Scrims, so that's it. Barring the grab getting eaten by Frosted, which, I mean, Frosted, that would be pretty proud of you, not gonna lie. Could happen. But if that grab lands, there's no response here. Aside from Red Rex getting the shatter up, this could be the very last fight here.
Yeah, well, yeah, especially because of the nature of Goats fights and how long they last. Red Rex has a shatter again. Like you said, he's going to be looking for it, but also you got to watch Frosted playing that back line. Mac goes for the shatter, but I think it got canceled. And there you go. Red Rex moves in. Graviton Surge as well. Valentine uses his, but Frosted with the triple kill to open things up wide for the NA Scrims. 87% on the point, and they have absolutely won this fight beatdown. I don't think Who can even touch the point or get back to it.
No, this is gonna be it. Oh my goodness.
Beautiful
Frosted
bomb from Frosted.
blows the doors of opportunity right open. We're gonna see a last second contest here from Who, but with this scuffed Hammond composition, can it really do anything?
Especially with Dosarino dropping right away. The Hammond is there. Valentine, though, gets shattered. Red Rex even kills Mac with it. Rio jumping around on the top of the point. Exsanguinated out by Mudkip. OT ticking down. Bomb comes out. Desperation from Fope. We can't find anything. That's going to be that. NA Scrims. Great play from them. Able to recap that all on the back of Frosted's bomb. Couldn't eat the grab, but it didn't matter because he hit that triple kill.
That's exactly what they needed. Part of the credit needs to go to Red Rex getting the shatter, and getting the pin onto Mac here. There was no way he could have responded and dealt with any of it. I think that was really impressive here with NA Scrims. They managed to, just by nature of baiting out a lot of ultimates from the Who, like preventing their value, and they were so good with how they cycled their support ultimates. Like they got the most value. Like whenever they were forced to use like trance or the sound barrier, then they basically got like the most out of it. Nobody died. They won that fight. Like it was one of those like, all right, every single thing needs to work out, and we're gonna win this map, and that's what happened.
Yeah, some great play from the NA Scrims. They're gonna take the initial lead here in this round, and on with great win on Nepal there. Who I will say though, great team play from them on Sanctum especially because that's the map they won, right? So I want to see more of these DPS compositions. You know, it's like a breath of fresh air. I feel like we've been drowning in goats for a long time, and finally, who gives us that little pocket of air? We can see some DPS play.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a little light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe we're getting towards the end of this with the fact that they got the nerf on the Brig. There isn't as much value in what she can do in goats anymore, but
a lot of
maybe
healing.
it's a little too soon to say. A little more healing. But
I'd
man,
say we're in the weird flux, right? Where after a patch where teams are still trying to figure out what exactly the meta has shifted to. If it's staying goats, we see teams still running goats, right? But we've also seen some other compositions too. So I think time will tell, Beatdown. Time will tell.
Only time, and I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see whether or not things actually change. I really hope they do.
Yeah,
and I'm sure there's some change in the wind there. The fact that so much was relied on the bashing the Reinhardt with Brigitte, it is not nearly as easy as it was before. So I can imagine some things changing.
Yeah, and triple DPS, right? We saw it for some moments there, but I think after this Brig nerf, I mean, I've just today, right? I was in casting Open Division earlier, and I saw teams bring out the triple DPS compositions as well there too for Route 66, and it worked, right? They eventually won. It was a great counter to goats and forced the other team to swap to a non-goats composition. So possibly, especially with the buff to McCree, do you think that goats might have now a solid counter?
Maybe, considering how weakened it's become because of the shatter, or sorry, because of the shield bash rather. But there's still many variables in this game. I don't know if I can just call the next meta. I really hope it's not triple DPS because I'll be honest, I don't like triple anything, except for that one Route 66 hold with quad DPS. That was a great.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So 2-2-2. You're a 2-2-2 purist, huh?
I kind of like. I like 3-3s in all sorts of situations. For what it is, I like goats. I just don't want anything like that. I don't want any comp to be like completely dominant like Dive was for that year and a half. Only 90s kids remember.
Yeah, every comp should have a counter, right? But Valentine on this Somber to start things off. Don't know if he's just scouting or if, he's going to translocate back to spawn, make the hero swap over onto this Zarya. Mac maybe jumping back as well. Swapping over to the Reinhardt. So now it's going to be the pure Goats, Zen Mirror.
Good call. It's going to be really tough to get through this Goats defense with the Winston Goats, so it's better that they just switch to the Rein v Rein Mirror.
Oh, poor who. They tried to get through that side room there, and Romanov just picks up 2 very quickly. 75 energy, that's what did it.
Yeah, halfway to a grab already. Valentine not even close. The issue now is that, it's really dangerous to run into a small room. When you're playing Goats, it's so much focus fire onto your team, especially running from one choke to the next. You maybe want to run up the stairs or try just a different route of approach.
Yeah. I think who there was trying to get up onto that high ground by going through that room, but it just didn't work in the end. And watch Dan Twist here looking for the shield bash onto Mac as he walks through the side. There it is! And it's the stun shatter combo. Even though Brig can't go through shields, they can still find a way. Dan Twist hiding around the corner creep. Hits him with a bash, and that's going to be that fight. Beautiful coordination by NA Scrims.
One ult. You got to love that economy. Now, NA Scrims probably feeling great. They have the grab, can use that to build another shatter. A minute and a half, Rian. Yeah, a minute and a half, and it's not looking too good here for who.
Yeah, armor going to be given to everybody. Romanov here needs to toss this grab and not have it be eaten by Bofi, so all eyes going to be on him. as he's looking for it, but he's got no Matrix left. Now you're going to see Shatter again out of Red Rex. This is insane. This man's got it on a 30-second cooldown, and Valentine is found already. Mac, you're next. The Dan Twist has got your number. And now NA Scrims pushing Who back to their spawn. Romanov didn't even need to use his grab.
What did I tell you in the beginning about Red Rex? Big tank energy.
Big tank energy.
This guy is a madman, but props to his team. Give him so much space to work, give him all that freedom to swing the hammer, and still, Romanov has the grab, and now
there it is. Tossed onto the wall so it couldn't be eaten up, and that is going to be a very, very quick fight. NA Scrims holding extremely strong. Red Rex getting aggressive, looking for that spawn kill, but Mudkip's going to find it instead.
Yeah, it needs all the ult charge he can get, because now, if you look at it, NA Scrims don't really have much to work with anymore.
They don't.
Now, they have the trans crew, but still, so many ults online for Who now. With a little over a minute left, this might be their point A cap. They've just been kind of very slowly and quietly econ pushing.
Yeah. It's going to depend on the support ultimate usage here from NA Scrims. They're pushing in. Red Rex is found right away, and that's the last thing you want to have happen, especially when he was so close to that Shatter. Mudkip is gone. Next, Frost is gone. You're right, Beatdown. There's the cap for Who.
Yeah, and very impressively done. Only the Reinhardt Shatter and the Rally used. They're actually kind of setting themselves really well for a snowball. So the point now is that they're going to just, you can see Mac already going for it. Point A is captured, and they're just going to go in with the grab here. But full support ults available for NA Scrims, so there's still a good chance they'll just be able to hold here. I don't foresee a snowball.
All right, well, I guess we'll see Beatdown. You're going to see the speed boost being used. Who has made their way onto the point. Graviton surges out. Red Rex responds with this Shatter. You're going to see the bomb as well. Beat dropped from NA Scrims as well. And the defense trying to hold, but Red Rex has got the Discord on him. And he goes down. There's the Shatter out of my boy Mac, hitting the big Mac Shatter. And that is going to allow Who to take control of this point B. They just got to kill the people as they're kill the members of NA Scrims as they come out of the spawn.
Yeah, Mudkip, actually some swaps all around here. Red Rex on the
here we
wrecking
go.
ball. Mudkip on the Moira.
And now you see Muffin Man trying to hang around the outside of the point. Goes down to the whip shot out of Dosarino. Red Rex beginning the spin to win strategy. Was that Graviton eaten? Beat down. It was eaten by Fofi, and the bomb enabled now by Frosted. Looking for some kills. He's hanging around on top of that, I don't know what you call that arch thingy, but 2 kills for the Who. They just need to remove the rest of the members off this point. Frosted's the last man standing, but he allowed Red Rex enough time to get back, and he's just trying to stay alive for as long as he can. But how long can you live against this unrelenting Who? Dan Twist goes down, and that's going to be a great point B capture for the Who.
So much credit to Fofi eating that grab. That was, whew, I would say that was definitely a win condition. You know, the Graviton Surge scooping up all of the Who might have been the way that NA Scrim stabilizes, but instead eaten by Fofi, shut down completely, and that's gotta, when you're already scrambling to get to the point, that has got to be so demoralizing.
Yeah. I mean, right, that's one of the things where you're already kind of in desperation mode, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody's on the point, and it's so easy. You have to trickle in one by one, and then your one glimmer of hope is just stolen from you like that. Oh man, that's gonna be very demoralizing. But Who looking very good here, I will say. You know, the Goat Smear, they were losing to NA Scrims on control, but they seem to have come in here with a renewed vigor. Only problem, though, is that how long it took them to cap that first point. If NA Scrims comes out of the gate strong and caps it so quickly, they'll have a huge time bank.
Yeah, 330, very respectable. Yeah. You know, a little issue in that last fight I just want to highlight real quick. NA Scrims had both their support ults. I figured that would be their saving grace, preventing the snowball, but instead, they used them. They didn't space them out as quickly as they needed to. Something they definitely want to watch out for this time around. Now that they're on the attack, because it is so important. Defensive, usual. Zen Goats, surprising no one. Mac wants that cheeky fire strike, ult charge, whatever he can get. And yeah, here we go. Dan Twist,
right.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, ignore that. It's just Romanov going for the scout here. He's going to go back to the point, and everyone's going to swap over to Plastic Goats. Yep, there it is. Redrex, though, his shield's actually taken a little bit of chip here at the very beginning. Wonder if he should have perhaps waited for his team, but it's just going to recharge very quickly. It's all good. And Mudkip takes a little bit of damage here, but Muffin Man looking for the amp it up to start things off. He's going to use it. Pushing in are the NA Scrims. They made it into the room when the Who could not. Redrex went for a bit of a cheeky charge there, maybe trying to get somebody walking in, but it's not going to happen. And now NA Scrims is looking to take the high ground, but no, Who is right on their tail. They're trying to contest this.
Actually, a good idea. I kind of wish they did it. That'd be kind of interesting. Then off to go back to the point. Gotta say, really impressive with many Scrims. They were all at pretty low HP before going for that push, but it worked out for them. Oh, Shatter comes out.
Mac can't find anything with that, and his team can't follow up on it, even if he did. And you see Redrex here, pretty close to a shatter of his own. Rally going to be used by Dan Twist, giving everyone that armor, and 2 kills already come out. Charge in the back. Redrex misses, but it doesn't matter because NA Scrims has already got this. And Beatdown, this is exactly what you did not want to have happen. The first fight take means that NA Scrims will have an insane amount of time. So it's going to come down to point B. What are you doing, Rio?
Just trying to shave off whatever time he can.
Yeah.
Really, though, now we're looking at 6.5 minutes here.
Oh, boy.
Or just under that. Yeah, that is nothing to sneeze at. And just take a look at what we got here on the side of NA Scrims. That's a lot of ultimates.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the Who, you're already reading my mind, buddy.
Yep.
They've got a few
minds think alike, right?
That they do. So it is gonna be, about who can make the use out of their grab. I think that's what's gonna matter here because Romanov and Valentine both have it, and it's gonna be about who can get the value. If any Scrims can do it, if they can win that war, they're gonna start capping.
Oh no, Redrex! No, he was booped. Beautiful boop from Rio to negate the shatter of Redrex. Absolutely amazing. Redrex returns, goes for a charge, but he's in a bad position. Somebody's got to save him. Nobody's there. Scope gets the frag, and that's going to be a very, very great first fight. All decided on that boop. Lost my words for a second there. That's how great that boop was from Rio.
It was insane. Doing so well to just knock them off, and then no less. As Redrex pressed Q.
Yeah.
So Shatter gone. Literally for free.
For free?
Literally for a right click.
Yeah.
That is a steal. You hate to see it. Just so much time left here still. 5 minutes. Plenty of time for NA Scrims to build some belts back up here. Still have the grabs up.
All right, Rio popping up to the high ground now. Wants to maybe have an opportunity to boop him down, but no. Who gonna drop right down, concede that high ground, because honestly, the high ground doesn't really matter. You got no DPS to really gain the advantage from that. So NA Scrims just pushes now, and they're kind of acting like the defense, pushing their way onto the point, looking for this contest, which is pretty smart from them. But the shatter comes out. Dangerous and Frosted down. Roth Reinhardt's gonna collide. Transcendence infested by Mudkip as well. Graviton comes in, and there's the bomb out of Frosted. They gotta negate Max Shield, and it's gonna happen with the shatter. It's gonna come out. So NA Scrims, they've got the advantage on the point again. Just like the Who, they got to finish off the stragglers.
And all that's really left here is Fofi with that bomb. Nothing gonna be found here. Great shatter from Redrex, making sure no one can respond to the bomb, but now the grab's out.
But the beat is there from Muffin Man to shut things down. Transcendence comes out from Scope as well, so a lot of support ultimates being used in this fight. 2 ticks, they're going to trade back and forth, but the pick onto Redrex is huge, because if the attackers go down, defenders can get there so quickly. So every 1 kill for the defense is basically 2 kills, so the offense has to match that. But they're looking to do that right now with Scope and Fofi going down. NA Scrims still maintaining control at this point, but it might be losing here as Sereno comes back on this Doomfist. Knocks Frosted out of the mech here. Bomb going to be invested. Muffin Man charge into the wall. Mac returns. The shadow is going to be used, but it's going to go right into the bubble of Romanov, and he goes down. Romanov fragging out right now. Has got another Graviton Surge here. Expect him to toss this down onto Fofi, perhaps as soon as he's out of the mech, where he sees an opportunity to. Both these teams just vying for this point control. It's just a back and forth scrappy fight. Fofi caught in the grab there. Going to be D-Mac and taken down very, very quickly there. And his Scrims still trying to take this point, but a great contest from Who has made it so that NA Scrims has less time in the bank than they do.
Yeah, but still so much gain for NA Scrims. Keeping this fight long enough for them to all come back to the spawn room. Shatter out, but not going to find much. But oh, Mac, they're still stalling Rien.
Yes, this is insane. Dosarino still fighting. That's like the 3rd beat in this fight. This is absolutely insane about how long this is lasting. Dosarino uses the meteor strike, goes down, but Rayo's on the point. Bomb over the top. Fofi found with its support, still contesting the Moira, the Lucio. Everybody's there. Rio finally goes down. NA Scrims will cap. But what a long fight that was. That is why 2CP has the reputation it does.
Yeah, that's why we call it 2CP lol. So much time taken off of the attack of any scrims. But still,
That's crazy.
Great defense here. The Who know that they had a decent amount of ultimates in the bank. They basically, just as well as they were cycling themselves back onto the point, they were cycling their ultimates too, and always bought just enough time for the next person and the next person. But still, because the ults didn't get as much value as they needed, NA Scrims had enough time. They weathered the storm. Enough of their members. Funny, usually you don't see this with the attacking team, but the entire attacking team managed to get themselves together. So it basically became a consistent 6v2.
Yeah, very nice there from the Who. And again, they're going to be staying on this defense. NA Scrims still in the attack because of the fact that they burned down 40 extra seconds, which is nothing to scoff at all.
No, but still, similar enough time banks that, these overtime rounds can definitely be quite competitive. Now, yeah.
20 more minutes of Hanamura. Woo.
Let's do it. Give me that 8-8.
Yeah.
So yeah, at this point, there's no Sombra. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody's playing it safe. We get the Goats mirror.
And because of that Fire Strike used there from Mac, you see Romanov is going to start things off with the energy advantage here. It's burning down, though, rather quickly here. Valentine has to kind of match this up here, but look at that beautiful block in the doorway for allowing Mudkip to be charged into the wall. Great work. Bofi going to take Red Rex down. Beautiful play there from Valentine. I'm so glad I was spectating him because what a great heads-up play.
Very much so. Big plays from Mac, too. Getting that early pick onto Mudkip means that pushes over, kind of lagging behind from his team a little bit. Maybe trying to get in some extra orbs of damage, but now, NA Scrims now behind an ult charge as a result of this. Still, no comm swaps. Mac getting really much closer to the Earth Shatter. Oh, we got a back.
Oh, somebody's on the point. It's my boy Muffin Man. He's just hanging around on the point. This Lucio has always been so pesky, Muffin Man especially, but he's very low, able to barely escape danger. But the shatter used from Mac here, looking to follow things up. Romanov goes down. Defense looking to hold strong here. Red Rex has got no shield, and he's got to get out of there. But no! Mac will not let him into the ropes with you. So we brought up the chair.
And now, the Who still doing great. That's 2 fights under their belt. 90 seconds remaining, and they're looking pretty good. Although they've committed the shatter, they still have to grab both their support ults. Look at Muffin Man, only 50%. NA Scrims are in a bit of a pickle, for lack of a better word.
Well, Mac playing this corner again, catches the Discord orb, but in comes the Graviton Surge. Mac, you gotta farm your shatter off of this, my guy. 58% on it, but no, Fofi comes in with the double kill. NA Scrims has to be driven back, or has to retreat rather, once more, and Mac 75% to the shatter. We'll basically have it for next fight.
Yeah, Red Rex using the shatter to no avail is definitely going to hurt them as well. Now, a lot of pressure is on Romanov here. He needs to get a good grab, but how is he going to get any value? Both support all still online for the Who here. So much sustain waiting for them, and Mac has built it to another Earth Shatter end.
All right, well, 30 seconds left. This is basically going to be last fight here. Last chance for the NA Scrims. Mac looking for the shatter, looking for another big Mac shatter. You're going to see Graviton Surge use beat as well. Oh, with so many ultimates going off. Frosted finds the double. Mac goes down. He used the shatter, but he couldn't find anything with it. So might as well have died with it, rather. Romanov pushes his way onto the point with the rest of his team, and NA Scrims have done it. But how much time will they have for second point? Can they do it? Beat down.
They're only going to have 30 seconds and really nothing to work with. A Transcendence, they're going to have 2 support ults. If they keep themselves alive long enough, Romanov might be able to build to another Graviton Surge, but it depends. If they need to space out these ultimates accordingly. And the Who did not do that during their last grab, and that's part of what cost them here. Now Valentine has a Graviton Surge. It's all going to be about how NA Scrims respond to it.
All right, keep an eye on Valentine here. Again, he's got the only ultimate that can change this fight, and he's going to whip it. Unfortunately, NA Scrims taking the long road, but Red Rex catches the anti-nade. He's very low. The Transcendence won't save you now, but it wears off just in time for him to keep himself up. And Red Rex, the first victim in what is going to be a very long fight. Graviton Surge invested. Dosarina found with it. Who trying to make things work here on the defense, but they're dropping members like flies. Dance was hiding on the outside of the point. On this Brigitte has got the shield bash available, but the shatter comes down out of Mac. You see if Red Rex trying to get back to the point. Frosted is able to find the pick onto Rio with the bomb here. Ticking down very quickly there. You can't leave the point at all on this, or at all in this last fight. Red Rex drops the shatter, not going to find anything with it. Romanov swapping over to the Hammond in order to get back faster. Muffin Man gets a pick, but goes down. He's the last man standing, trying to survive, and he is going to be focused down by Dosarino. NA Scrims able to cap that first point, get a little bit of percentage on that second point, but they just can't get it all the way. But I'm not too surprised with the amount of time they had to work with.
Yeah, and honestly, a lot of credit has to go to Scope here and Dosarino, because, you know, one interesting thing that happened was that as soon as Red Rex came into the point, he got shield bashed. And right at that moment, like, it was definitely time, shield bash, anti-grenade. So the trans didn't do anything for him, and he was very easily focused down as a result. You know, losing Red Rex so early was detrimental to that push, and it was basically the beginning of the end there. Good play from both of them.
All right, well, 3 minutes, 27 seconds, basically 3 minutes and a half for the Who to work with on this attack. Beat down based on what we've seen from them so far. Can they make it work?
3.5 minutes, it's definitely possible, but now you got to be feeling the crunch time if you're NA Scrims here. They pretty much have to shave quite a bit of time here off this point A push if they want a real chance here. Because imagine losing point A in the first fight. That's not only an ult charge advantage to the enemy, that's suddenly, you know, extra 30 seconds for them. The fact that you have to, you're now on the back foot here. So it's a lot of pressure here on NA Scrims.
Look at this. What is Red Rex doing? All right, he was just looking for the fire strike at a weird angle, so it wouldn't get him down. He gets 20% off of onto his Earth Shatter right away. Great play, honestly. He's very smart. And Mac, goes for the charge, but gets shot down with the boop that came out there from Muffin Man. Great boops from both Lucios we've seen so far in this series. And look at Red Rex building up that shatter so quickly. And Mac is so low on the outside of the point. Fofi as well. Great focus out of the NA Scrims. And Red Rex has already got the shatter. How crazy is that? It's not even been 30 seconds.
Well, that extra 20% was so helpful. On top of that, Mac bursted down so often, so quickly. He has to keep his shield up most of the time. Hasn't been able to swing his hammer very much.
Oh, Rio. I like to play there from Rio, booping Red Rex into the choke, so perhaps there was an opportunity, but he just couldn't escape in time, so Frost was able to find the pick. And look at this Shatter Bomb combo already available.
That is going to be really big here. Yeah, unfortunate for Rio to get a playoff like that. You've got to get it through the lines then, but he got bit. Now, we're going to see the Shatter from Red Rex come out most likely, and it's got to be big. That's two!
Toss down, scope found, charge comes in from Red Rex, and that is going to be a very quick fight win.
Yeah, not only that, they've taken about a minute off the clock already, winning that fight with one ult. Yeah, they used the rally.
Poor Fofi.
Oh my gosh, that's a brutal stall. And now, NA Scrims still armored up from the rally, still looking real healthy, bigger bang combo available, and both support ults. But almost the same could be said here from the Who. They do have, they still are in this game here. They just need to get off a good ultimate, you know, a good shatter, a good grab, and they can still catch this point.
And, you know, if I'm Valentine here, I just toss it on the wall, right? But you watch Romanov's positioning as well. He's got the same thought process, tosses it in, and you see both Gravitons out at the same time, both beats at the same time, both bombs at the same time. Everybody's on the same page because they're using every ultimate in tandem here. Fofi goes down to that bomb. He's going to drop the shatter. Came out, couldn't find anything. They're going to trade back and forth here. 5v5 on the point. Mac charges, can't find anything. But Red Rex right now is being lasered down, catches the armor pack, has got the shatter, but you got to keep him up. But no, Rio able to secure that pick. And somebody's going to get on the point right now for the Who, but it's not going to be Mac or Valentine because both of them have just fallen. Scope caught in a bad position. They're trying to figure out how a way to kill him, but he's staying alive right now with the help of course, Rio on this Lucio. No one's on the point. 1 minute left. Fofi, there you go. Now you're on it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Muffin Man, the only lone survivor for his team here, gonna try and stall it out, maybe prevent a tick from going on. No, he's actually gonna run away. They might be giving it up here on NA Scrims. Yeah, they're just going to concede the point. They're not in the worst position here. A lot of ults came out of the Who, so they decide, you know what, forget it. Let's not feed anymore. They have the shatter. They're using the rally as we speak, actually.
Honestly, I think Who forgot that they had to capture the point in the first place because there was a long stretch where nobody was even on it when they could have been. And now you see, oh, poor Scope singled out, had the trans too. 48 seconds.
Oh, Muffin Man!
What on earth? And he's breaking it down right now with the DJ up top. Holy cow! Muffin Man, do you know him, Beatdown?
Oh, I do. He lives on Drury Lane.
Oh my gosh.
Absolute animal.
Massive play.
Good stuff. Okay, 30 seconds remaining. Unfortunately, committing the shatter. Not many key ultimates online for NA Scrims. The opposite are for the Who. They have both support ults. Shatter's about to come online. They have the grab for end.
Yeah, and Who, look at them. They're not pushing over on that side where if you get booped anymore. Bob comes out. Red Rex found opportunity. Scope had to use his Transcendence, but the beat was invested. Both support ultimates now gone for the defense of the NA Scrims. Romanov is batted down. OT on the point. You just need one tick. Who? Can you get it? They are going to get it beat down. They're batting down every single member of the NA Scrims. Red Rex returns to the point and just gets fire struck. And that is going to be that here. Who going to be your winners on Hanamura, evening things out 1-1.
What an insane last fight here. Unfortunately, too
I want to see
much.
this group again. Muffin Man, come on.
Yeah,
Let's go.
That's the one.
All right. Let's see this. Look at this. He knows everybody's moving on the outside. He goes all the way around to as a Lucio main. I love to see it. That's a 10 out of 10 play. Oh, even the emote at the end. He knows that he just put that fight and just won it single-handedly. What a great play.
That's why, running these comps, it's so dangerous to rotate out the side like that. But it's better than going up the stairs on the right because you are way more vulnerable. But at the same time, you are quite vulnerable outside.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who would have guessed, right? That the Lucio would see that as his opportunity to boop y'all into the pit. Apparently not the NA Scrims, but in fairness, though, they were a little bit pressured there, and we're going to be moving on to Numbani next. Hybrid. A lot of high ground on Numbani first point. We've seen Soldier be used there, some bunker comps as well. Personal favorite of mine, the Orisa Bastion bunker composition.
I gonna have to completely disagree. The comp is horrid, but I'm sure it's fun. Yeah, let's call it fun.
Fun, maybe not optimal, but hey, yes. You never know.
Hey, sometimes you just want to have fun.
Yeah,
Overwatch competitive.
To be that Bastion and just be mowing down the front line at all. Oh man, a lot of joy to be held in that. But okay, sure. NA Scrims. I don't know what the heck that composition is. There you go. This is a little more in line with what I had in mind.
I was going to say coherent.
So, Beatdown, my question is, why is Soldier 76 a good pick on this map?
Well, just the fact that there's really good high ground opportunities for him to take advantage of the fact that unless you're running high mobility heroes, it's kind of hard to take advantage of the fact that, let's just run up to the high ground. No, you got to run up the stairs, around the corner, through this hallway. And by that time, who knows where he went. And, just the consistent damage output is so good. People like to run Pharah on this map, so it's a good way to poke, keep at bay. It is hard for a soldier to burst down a Pharah unless you have a little aimbot on that Helix rocket.
Yeah. Which actually was removed in the last patch, wasn't it?
Only because it wasn't a true aimbot. It was still a projectile that was kind of like aim assisted, but it ended up being worse than not having it there. Right.
Well, we're going to see these teams. This is an interesting composition. The Brig McCree. Oh, no. Red Rex caught out in the open. Valentine moves in with a double fan hammer. He's looking right now for Muffin Man. Actually jumps a little bit low, but Dance was going to be able to get that first frag onto the McCree, effectively nullifying the entire purpose of that composition and driving the Who back.
That's so dangerous, McCree here to take out the Pharah. Gets taken out by the Pharah instead, and the Danto is probably feeling so good, getting so much ult charge already halfway to the Rocket Barrage now.
Oh, and Scope.
Oh, that's
late
so
kill.
bad.
You hate to see it.
They need to back up here. They need to the group up. The way you run these comps is that your tank need to be up in front. They need to make space for this McCree. He needs room. He needs time to get to the point, get into the optimal angles, get the shots in. But right now, we're not seeing that.
Yeah, Who playing very slowly. There you go. All right, that's actually smart play from the Who here, driving back the Mercy onto the other high ground before they sneak up. But look at those health bars. Everybody's low, and Twist is having a field day on the Sphera.
And not only that, everyone was purple. Huge nade from Mudkip. You know, before Mac could get that shield down, he already caught most of them. No healing, no problem. Twist takes him out, sends him straight back to the spawn room. No ults used either.
That's the mother-daughter synergy right there, right? Fair enough.
That's right. And now, man, NA Scrims looking very
stacked.
Dominant. Yeah, stacked is actually the word I was thinking. They're doing great.
They
Now
are,
they
you know,
have
Twist.
so many ults.
Expect Twist to just play this high ground right here, right, and just drop down. Barrage over the top, but Valentine makes the swap over to the Widowmaker. Trying to shoot him out of the air. He's got the damage boost from Rio as well. You see, Twist comes out, takes some shots here, but Red Rex in the back line. Nano Winston with the cleave to take down Scope very quickly. Valentine does find the shot at a Romanov, but it's taken down by Mudkip, so there's just gonna res come out. So that's gonna be that. I don't think actually Mudfin Man has even resed anybody because I don't think anyone's died if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it might have been the first death on the side of NA Scrims here. I actually like the swap onto this Widow Genji. You know, you can poke the far out from a far distance as long as you can land the shot. The Genji can dive with the tanks, give them a little more frontline support here. And, you know, Rio for those sweet anti-nades, because just, you can't say no to preventing your enemy from healing.
Yeah, and Red Rex dropping in the back line here with that Primal Rage. 58 HP, able to grab the health back and escape with his life. Bomb goes in, flushing everybody out of the high ground. Muffin Man couldn't quite escape, was caught out on that Mercy, and goes down. Twist, though, he sees that Transcendence was just used by Scope. Now he's got an opportunity to find one. He's going to use it, looking to take down Mac, but Mac invests his Primal Rage. Docerino, though, is found by Frosted's Bomb. Mac bats down Romanov, and he's looking to swat down the front line as well. Jumps over, Red Rex killed. And that's going to be Who taking this first point. Took him a little bit to get it rolling, but once they got it, they got it.
Yeah, questionable, like, I don't know why they Romanov jumped off the high ground there with the soldier. Probably would have been better to keep himself there and have a better vantage point for when he used the tactical visor. Unfortunately, did not come to fruition.
All right, NA Scrims, over to Goats.
Who would have
For
guessed?
the second point, yeah. I mean, it's not the worst decision you could make. It's a great composition for the second Streets phase.
Oh, without a doubt. So much low ground. And, you know, just to take advantage of here. And it is harder, you know, as long as they can get rid of that Winston bubble. Free shadows for Red Rex all day.
Nano Blade. Gotta watch Docerino here. He's got it. Rio's got the Nano. He's just looking for an opportunity right now. Docerino dives into the back line. There you go. Something from the past, but it's not going to be found because, of course, the characters of the present. That is Brigitte Bastanza, but not even for long. Docerino still takes out 2 with 1 swipe. Mudkip, though, does kill Docerino in turn, but they're fighting this at an advantage. Who can continue to fight this frontline fight and hopefully win this out. Bomb going to be invested there. Mudkip trying to get around the corner. Muffin Man can't quite, though, and he goes down. So the Who will continue to push this cart through the Streets phase off the back of a beautiful Nano Blade. Even though couldn't find anything at the start, it's not about the journey, it's the destination, right?
I don't quite think that's how that goes, but I guess for the sake of Docerino, I'll agree with you. Huge play, getting 2 nice kills with 1 swipe there at the end. Now, 3 minutes, all of a sudden, you know, the Who looking a little concerned there with time bank. Suddenly I have 3 minutes on to this last point.
I guess a better phrase there would have been, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, right?
There you go.
In Docerino, measure twice, cut once, right? That's one of Genji's voice lines. And Mac jumping in here, look at the Primal Rage charge. Absolutely amazing on that. Has built it up, and already, and his team can just quickly wipe out the members of the NA Scrims off the back of that beautiful, beautiful Mac Tesla cannon damage.
Yeah, it just seems like the Ana's utility really taking advantage of the fact that not a lot of healing is available, or the Zen Goats here usually are so aggressive. Red Rex dropping a shield at the wrong time. Rio knows this, drops the nade every single time. It's so difficult for them to keep themselves up.
Oh, Mac able to force out the Transcendence of Mudkip, and now pushing that front line with this Primal Rage. Docerino is found. Muffin Man picks up 2. Who says Lucio isn't a DPS?
Definitely not me. And now, finally, NA Scrims getting their feet on
Muffin
the ground
Man, what are you doing? Okay. Chasing the kills all the way back to the spawn on the Zarya, too.
Okay, Muffin Man, I know we're joking around, but he's not a DPS. You gotta back off, buddy. Now, NA Scrims looking okay for this defense, but still, I think it's going to be, once again, the tale of two grabs. Can the Divas eat it, or is it going to get all the value?
All right, well, eyes on Romanov now. Defensive grab is, perhaps in my opinion, at least a little bit more. Oh, eaten up by Bofi. Heads up play coming out of him. Valentine has got the grab. He's looking for it, but Valentine might have wanted to use it perhaps a little bit earlier because your team has already died before you get the opportunity to. Muffin Man chasing Rio down. This man, so aggressive on this Lucio.
Yeah, and it's paying off. Getting so much ult charge on, you know, for the sound barrier, getting it a lot faster than, you know, Lucio for the Who would be in normal situations. Only now we're just going to see Rio make the switch, though. Red Rex wanted that flank shatter. Didn't expect the high ground approach.
Oh, Muffin Man has found where the Who are pushing from, and now he's going to be hanging out above this door for the boop. He's going to use it right away as they push out. Mac is caught with it. Now, you're going to see a big shatter come out of Red Rex here, but there's the Transcendence to counter things out. There's the Graviton Surge we're waiting for out of Valentine here. It's going to be counteracted by the Transcendence, but the bomb! Red Rex drops his shield at the last second, and Bofi picks up 2.5. Dan Twist goes down next to Rio, and Who can continue to push this point with 30 seconds left on the clock.
Well, Who kind of just waited and bided their time. Let NA Scrims use the key ultimates, and now in this last fight, just use whatever they had. Grab's going to come out, though, from Romanov.
Oh, shatter from Mac, though. Can't really find anything, or does find Muffin Man, but can't follow up on it. Right, you're going to see the rally used from Dan Twist here as he's pushing on the point. 0.09 meters left. They just need to get then a Scrims off of it for like 0.1 seconds. Seriously, just a ridiculously small amount of time. Rally built up from Dosarino. Going to use it. Romanov bottled up in the backline. Has got the Discord orb on him as well. Going to be able to escape that, but he's still got to watch out. But because he needs to stay alive, he's got so much energy to work with here. Beats drop from both teams. Transcendence invested. You're going to see the Coalescence as well. Out of Mudkip. Shatter comes out from Mac once again. Muffin Man, this time they can secure the kill. Grab comes in. Mac swings away. Hits the Grand Slam. That's going to mean Who is going to take this and beat down. One of the things we forgot to mention, this is a best of 3 series. This is going to be the last map.
That's right. This is the decider here, and already such a... Maybe?
That's what our producer said, so I'm just going off of what he said.
All right, I trust him. He's a trustworthy guy, that Q-bot.
Always trust your producers.
That's right. Unless they are Moirai. Don't ever trust Moirai. Oh, I bet they'll love that one. But either way, yeah, this could very well be the deciding map here. But you know what? I think what's really going to be deciding is the fact that, yeah, the Who managed to finish this point, but they finished in overtime. So not exactly the best finish. Yeah, you got through all 3 points, but if any Scrim finish over a minute, then suddenly the Who's on the back foot. They have to, you know, they have to fight for the draw.
Gonna be the draw fight here on Numbani, which is interesting. And we'll see if they can get a draw. We've seen it before, but Beatdown, what I want to talk about right now is Mac's Winston play. You know what he reminds me of? Mac, Runaways tank, right? Runaways main tank. They play their Winstons very similar, very aggressive, you know, kind of what has been described, I've heard, as the 3rd iteration of Winston play.
Is that what people are calling it nowadays? Yeah, I guess so. It definitely is just predominant this lately, especially with Gushui, if I know I'm saying that wrong.
Nope, you actually said it. That was correct.
Wow, okay.
There you go.
All those videos have paid off.
There you go.
Yeah, I do see the comparison here, but something Mag suffers from occasionally that I do see Mac suffering from too. Sometimes you get too aggressive looking for that ult charge, and you pay for it.
And again, right, it's all about building up your primal rage as soon as possible with the cleave damage on the Winston. Again, diving the back line and just using that Tesla gun to build ultimate so fast. I mean, we saw Mac, right, 20% in a second, building up that primal rage so quickly. And we're going to see if he can do the same here, mimic that success, right? But NA Scrims running the dive. Goats taking the low ground, looking to dive up onto the high ground. In they go. You're going to see the bubble go out, but the stun comes in under Red Rex. He's got to keep himself alive. He's very low, taken down by Fofi. And now Who needs to focus themselves on the point because you got a few members there, Frosted's D Mac, who can hold this fight for now, but you still got a lot of time left, so keep your hopes up, NA Scrims.
Yeah. I mean, here's the issue. The dive goats is a little difficult to run here because diving onto that soldier on the high ground, yeah, in theory makes sense, but it's so dangerous. Like, you run the threat of getting discorded. Shield bash.
Oh,
There's
Muffin
so
Man.
much going
Oh,
against
you
you.
mad
Oh,
man.
what are you doing?
Muffin Man, he went for the boop trying to get people off the high ground and make them diveable targets, but was maybe a little overeager on that one, so his team has got to wait for him. Muffin Man, sometimes the aggression might need to tone it down just a little bit, but I respect it.
Yeah. But now, they gotta respect that the Who have some pretty key ultimates coming online here. Rally. So, tactical visor.
Yeah, and he's got it all ready off the back of that dive coming in. He's going to use it right away. Red Rex invests the Primal Rage. Oh, Valentine over the edge. Off you go. And Red Rex popping off right now with this Primal Rage, looking for more targets. Can't quite find them. Frosted going to be D-Mac bomb thrown in the back line. Blocked by Dan Twist Shield, saving both his life and Muffin Man's life. Shield Bash comes in, and both teams are trying to fight things out. Scope trying to get his team back onto the point, get themselves a foothold here with the Transcendence, and it's going to work. But Mac dropping very low on the front line. Isolated. Romanov lasering him down here. 100% energy. Firing on all cylinders right now and carrying NA Scrims to this victory on the first point.
And unfortunately, Mac threw his life away trying to stall there. Didn't have the bubble available. Might have benefited from just backing off the point, giving up a tick, and then recontesting, with the bubble. Buy yourself some time, allow your team to come back to the point. But either way, gonna give you a cap. But Mac, wow, all of them are just moving right in.
Yeah, getting all up in their face. Look, Muffin Man was trying to boop him into his team, and Mac was like, you know what? You're trying to boop me into the team. I'm going to turn it all the way up to 11 and just go ahead and go for the charge, right? And okay, Who? What are you guys doing right now? You guys are spawn camping NA Scrims. This is interesting.
This is like first point spawn camping. It's not even NA Scrims spawn anymore.
Rio over the edge, able to save himself there. Great wall riding.
Fofi, what are you doing there, buddy? You all right? Everything okay? Oh, everything is not okay.
No, everything is not okay at all. D-Mac from Frosted there. Graviton Surge invested now. Oh, there's the bomb too, but you don't even need it. Red Rex finds the kills. Rio taken down with it, but that's going to be that. And then Scrims can finally get the cart moving, but what was smart there from the Who is that because they were fighting so closely, right, the payload wasn't moving at all.
Yeah, I mean, now it just finally got around this corner. Now they have time to just come back, go for another defense, but not as many ults in the bank as they'd like. Look at NA Scrims, both support ults. Red Rex has that Primal Rage. My God, I still have flashbacks to that absolutely disgusting environment to kill on the Valentine.
Yeah, that was crazy just to shut that down. And Red Rex, I mean, he can't really find it here unless he wants to take it for a very, very long ride. But there, out it comes. You see Mac with the shattered Mudkip found in the back. Believe he was shattered. Caught in that and is why you see that kill coming out. Rally invested from Dos Sereno here. Dan Twist used his in the past fight, and he's going to go down. Or actually did not. Was swapped over, rather. And he's going to go down here to the Fire Strike out of Mac, which means Who will just drive the NA Scrims right back.
Yeah, Red Rex seems to be very good with this Winston, making use of the Primal Rage. Probably stayed on it long enough that, maybe they could get some value here, some displacement. Hopefully their team could follow up in some way. Didn't quite work out. Now we're going to see him switch to the Ryan. Already getting a decent bit of ult charge here.
Yeah. Great play on him. He's going to get the Discord, though, which is not what you want to have happen, especially if they're ever going to this fight. But the charge comes in. Muffin Man taken down. Transcendence invested from Mudkip, keeping the team up. Graviton Surge as well out of Valentine here, trying to keep his team, gives them the opportunity to work with. But the counter Graviton comes in from Romanov. That is going to shut things down for the most part. Fofi's D-Mac beats drop from both sides. Bomb thrown in the back from Frosted. There was just nobody even there to find the kill. Everyone had already hit around the corners here. And really, defense of the Who is in shambles. Everybody's split up. There's not much they can do in this fight but back out and regroup.
Yeah, Scope trying to go for a little cheeky pause. Gets taken out instead. Yeah, it goes to show you, especially in a meta where the support ults are even more important, where you have two defensive support ults with the compositions that you run. It's really going to be who uses them first is likely going to lose because of how you cycle them.
Oh, here we go. There, you got to push back on the point. Mudkip found right away. Shatter comes out. Valentine knocked down, but they can't quite secure the kill. Great healing from the supports and keeping him up. Now, Red Rex fighting the front line. Doesn't even know where to look. Mac, you got damage on all sides. Frosted D-Mac. Dan Twist battered down. Mac going off again.
A bit of a hasty shatter there from Red Rex. Kind of feeling the heat a little bit, maybe. But yeah, right into Mac's shield. is not going to have that going forward. Look at Mac, about to get another one.
Yeah.
Romanov here has the Graviton Surge. It's really going to be all about, 20 seconds left. They really need this one to be big. They got to get some value out of it. It needs to not be eaten by Fofi. I feel like I can't highlight that enough.
Yeah, absolutely there. Fofi has already eaten up one grab. Let's see if he can do it again here on the same map, no less. He's got to be watching Romanov, watching his positioning here. Matrix seeing the grab that comes in from Valentine there. There's a counter Graviton. Everyone's fighting so close. Transcendence, speed invested, but Scope still has his own Transcendence available. So no defensive ultimates means that the defense can hold on for longer than the offense can in this fight, and they're fighting back and forth. Red Rex drops now. It's not looking too good for the NA Scrims. This is really the last fight that's going to happen. Valentine gets 2 kills, carrying the Who to the victory here on Numbani. Frosted Steam McMuffin Man, not long for this world either. That's gonna be that. Great play from the Who. Dropped the first map, won the next 2. Hanamura and Numbani, go to them. That is gonna be that. Great play. Mac, definitely a standout player for me. Big Mac himself, popping off no matter what tank he was playing at. He even gets to play the game on this ride.
Yeah, and I think a big contributor to that last fight, Mudkip ended up getting really, not lucky, I want to say really clutch, pulling up the Transcendence, right as the grab came out from Valentine. Good play. Unfortunately, NA Scrims could not capitalize quickly enough because Scope got it on the other side. So then essentially it's like they both had the trans, and Scope got to trans second, which is always what you want to be doing. So that extra bit of sustain is what pretty much cost the round for NA Scrims here.
And I mean, Transcendence, right? If you rearrange the letters a little bit, spells out trans second, because that's always what you want to do with it, right?
Oh, I like that one. And yeah, I feel like now you just need to think of one for sound barrier and done deal.
Yeah, well, there's probably enough letters there. I can make something work. I'll get back to you on that one. But great showing from both these teams regardless. NA Scrims couldn't get the victory here. Who is going to be the victors here? Your champions moving on in the bracket. We're going to have more tomorrow. Beat down, because I believe this is our last round for the day that's going to be streamed. Tomorrow we're back with the continuation. You're going to be moving into the finals. We're going to see all the familiar faces, familiar teams that we saw throughout today play tomorrow. Those are going to be best of 5 games. Be sure to tune into those. Going to be a grand old time. But I was Rand, with me was Beatdown Boulevard. Can't forget about our good old producer Qbot. Without him, stream would not be run. So big shout out to Qbot there, and we'll see you all tomorrow for more Horizon Community Cup.